Okay, welcome guys. This is episode 60 something of ChatTactic. I've got a bit of a sore throat today, so I'm going to be a little bit croaky. I've got a big jug of water over there, and I've got half a glass now. I've been sort of drinking for the last 5 minutes. Hi Rogue and Baseline, and hi everybody else that's actually joined us. Okay, so let's get into the session today. We're going to be talking about Master of Magic, the Soul Trapped, which is just launched. So we'll just go through what that actually does bring. Hi Michael, how are you going? And also we do have giveaways today, or giveaway today, so I will actually go through that as well. That's a game that also has just released today, which is Untamed Tactics, which you can sort of see in through here. So I've just released a video actually about an hour ago on playing that game. It was a sponsored video, and so yeah, thanks for Revenge Games and Grumpy Owl Games, I think, for the key that we can then give away today, but also for sponsoring that particular content. So I think we'd start off there. I'll just do a bit of a summary as to what that is for the if you're going to be sticking around for the giveaway. So that will be Untamed Tactics is, and I haven't had a good look to see what's going on in here. We'll just have a quick look. Untamed Tactics, there it is there, $25 Australian, which should make it around about probably $18, $19 US, I guess, is where that would actually be. There's only a couple of reviews that have come in so far. It literally has only just launched. I think 2 hours ago, I think it was when it actually did launch. So I hope it goes well for them. It's based, the premise is it's based on a board game which is done fairly well. But it actually plays. It's not a remake of the board game. It is actually it's a tactical game built like where it's sort of inspired by the board game, if that makes sense. So I'll just sort of go through there. Hi Phobius and Sean, Tape Saturator. How do you get a name Tape Saturator? What's that? That's one of the strangest names. Tape Saturator. Anyway, I'm just trying to think. That my mind boggles. Anyway, I'll let that one go. I've only just woken up, so I'm going to be a little bit groggy with this. But that's why names like that will probably get me to stumble a little bit in this early part of the session. Anyway, Untamed Tactics is a tactical game. I'll sort of show some of the screens in here, and just bring them up. So it's very much a tactical game, essentially, where it is story driven, but there is procedural content as well. So it's sort of one of those games that is, and it does have a card aspect to it. The original actual board game, and I've never played the board game, but the board game itself, that is a card driven game. This one is not. This one is actually, like it actually comes down to the types of actions that you then actually have as your different characters. There are, when you start playing the game, there are 3 characters, but 2 classes each. And the classes, you might as well have 6 different characters really to choose from, but you've got to make a choice between the classes. And so in this case, I think that this class here for this particular character, who's called Mortimer, is actually got a so he's like an alchemist in this case, but he can also be a doctor, and so he can then go around and heal up his side of things, or he can actually then go and, like, playing as the alchemist, and he can't switch between in the actual game itself. There's a fair amount of replay value in the actual game as well. Just go to next screen. This is where the cards do come in, which is a very, very minor part of the game in the combat, where it's, like in my video, I likened it to the way that fights would occur in Monkey Island, like with the, if you've ever played Monkey Island with Guybrush Threepwood, and with that one there, you've sort of then got hang on, I have to come back to the comments in just a minute. Tape Saturator actually answered the question there. So we'll have to pick on that one. Hang on, just be in 1 minute. But so this is very much like a portion of the actual battles will then actually have like a dialogue component to it, where you actually do have this sort of thing where you can then do sort of extra damage or get an extra advantage through the dialogue. So that's sort of where the cards kick in, but they hardly play a role, which I like, because what's happening here is that it is mainly coming down to what type of of attack you're going to do at different sorts of times as well. So yeah, I had fun with it. I mean, I prefer fully procedural games personally, but there is like a way to run through the game with procedural generation, but I didn't get to unlock that. So I was just playing the story at that, like for the bits that I was recording. Yeah, you can see there is actually like a fair bit of dialogue. So it is story driven, like the campaign itself. I know that most other gamers and you guys, I guess in particular, would, or not in particular, but you guys would also, like, a lot of people don't mind story driven content because it seems to be much more better curated than random content. But yeah, for me, I'm not built that way. I don't know. I do like my procedural generation. So we've got that one through there. We'll just go next. Yeah, so just having a bit of a look. But like it's on tiles rather than hexes. That doesn't really matter that much. You do use all when you're moving. You can only move orthogonally, not diagonally. But attacks can go diagonally depending on the different types of attacks that you have. The attacks can be sort of like they can have area of effect attacks. There's different things. You have almost got to line things up a little bit like chess in some cases. So it's an interesting game, just the way it sort of does actually play itself out. There's traps on the ground as well. There's hidden traps that you'll undo. Dusty Monkson saying, I like story driven, but if I see cards, it's an instant nope. Well, the cards to put the cards into perspective, all the game is played through, and we can't see it in through here. But because if we're looking at a tree, I'll just see if I can find one where it does go through the process. Like this is the progression through the actual game itself. Yeah, I'm not seeing it there. I'll just come back in. This is the upgrade. The upgrade is fairly good. So you've got like different abilities, like 4 abilities you start with. You can unlock more. It does actually have. So these are different abilities. These are ability choices. So you do get a chance at different times to upgrade or move things in or do something like this. And so there is actually a lot of different things you can actually do to customize as you do your run. A lot of these are randomized as well as they come in as well. Just go next and see. No, it's not going to actually have it there. But there's a lot of customization in the game, but it's not to do with the cards. I mean, there sort of is, but the cards, it's this counter here. As this one gets higher and higher through the combat, it will then and the combat is all based on these actions. So the actions are literally different types of actions. You've got action points, and so there's an action point amount that you then can use to spend. Like, for example, they've got 2 action. This particular character has got 2 actions left. Has only really got 1 movement left, so he can only move into those positions. And so at the moment he can only sort of do this one in through here. He may have already sort of used the I think it's aim and shoot is that particular one there. That's his main offensive one. But he also has like a push attack as well, which costs none of them. And so these also then have different types of the attacks have different types of benefit, or like they sort of do different types of things. So even the tree has got like a number of hit points in through here, but also how it actually is impacted by different types of attacks. So you've got physical, magical, mind, and then a push attack as well. And so these are the different types of. There is a way of pressing tab over the top. I'll just see if I can find it there. No, all of these, you can see here, for example, Baldur, which is one of the early enemies, is strong against physical, but not strong against magical or mind attacks. And so someone like Mortimer, for example, and I don't think you can see through here, with Mortimer in through this other side, he does actually have a thing called the toxic vial, and it will then sort of show, so throws a dangerous vial that explodes for 28 physical attacks and 30 to 36 magical attacks with a 50% chance to inflict poison. So he's actually got that toxic vial. There's a few of them. This is it in here. And then it's got the poison damage that then sort of shows you. This one here is purely a magical attack, for example. And so against someone like Baldur, you want to then be making sure that you are using the right types of attacks to go in. So it's very much about positioning, shooting or firing, and then sort of you can still keep on moving until you've actually used up all your movement points, or all your action points back in through this other side. Some of them will have like a different range, like this one has the toxic vial should have a range. It's not showing the range in there, but there is actually a range to each of the actual units itself. You can see that is the range for that particular weapon. I don't know if we've got other ones in there, but we can sort of see. But the cards themselves, the only thing the cards do is when that counter that we sort of see back in here fills up, and it may fill up once per fight, maybe twice per fight. Once that fills up, you then have an advantage where you can then do some sort of dialogue and come up sort of using like whatever sort of personality would be the best one to choose. But it sort of just changes the battle in a slight way. So it's hardly anything at all. So let's have a look and see. I'll just go back into the comments. I'll just get my sound level up. Okay, so we've got, we go back through here. So Tape Saturator is in saying it's my artist name. And Hugh David saying, hello Daz, I've been enjoying the GalCiv 4 Supernova content. Thanks for all your efforts and great content. Thanks for that. Yeah, it was fun to play actually. I've been streaming that, which I'll probably now stop streaming it now because I'm sort of now in a position on the Twitch stream where I'm now finished. I know I'm not going to be able to lose at this point in time, I don't think. So I think that the interest is sort of over with that particular run through as well on Twitch. But I've been, as you say, I've got the content going up on YouTube. Actually, the next one that comes, I think it's the next one that comes out is just going through the ship designer. So I sort of spent like an episode just going through that. I think that's the next one. If it's not the next one, it's the one after that one. Sorry, I'm just going to keep on drinking today. I do have a bit of a sore throat. And Baseline's in saying, artist name, tell us more. Dusty Monk's saying, I like story-driven, but if I see cards, it's an instant no. I'm sort of the same usually. It was, but the cards play a very minor role, very extremely minor role in the game. There's a lot of other different aspects in it as well. Anyway, so I thought I'd just sort of show that one through there. I don't know what people have written. If there's only a couple of reviews, so here's a few reviews. Yeah, so this one is, the game is a fun tactical. I don't think we're going to see people with reviews with a hell of a lot of time with the game, to be honest, because it's only just come out. So it's a fun game, tactical and original experience. It has a deeper story than you'd expect and fun, original anthropomorphic animal characters that shake up typical archetypes of characters. The gameplay is tactical and requires deeper thinking about your steps and actions while being fun and forgiving at the same time. That's true. It's easy to get into, difficult to master. There are a lot of ways to how to approach combat with different party members to gear items that change, which provides diverse experience. That's a
Welcome to Untamed Tactics. On our journey,
sorry.
we've battled foes that would make even the bravest.
I'll just put that one back there. Also, don't be fooled by the characters. This is not a kids game, so it's not a little kids game anyway. It can be fairly aggressive, even with the characters. The characters, as I say, come from the board game, the original board game, which was card driven, but this is not card driven. Anyway, that's pretty much how I see the game. Then we've got this one's only got 20 minutes, so I don't know what's happening through here. We've got I love this game. The artwork is amazing. The storyline is really cool. How can you? I don't know. Anyway, I think that 20 minutes is not really sort of all that viable. I was lucky to play the game prior to launch. It's a genre that lately getting swamped with new releases. I'm not surprised that Untamed sticks out. It shares its IP with the card game entitled Feral Factions. Yeah, so it was Untamed. Feral Factions was the board game, which I've been playing for a year now with friends. Okay, there we go. So this is somebody who has actually done a lot of it. At the core, the idea of adapting to your hand you've dealt. With randomized upgrades and missions, you have to think on your feet while also toying with how to combine these options. Unlike most games, Untamed also doesn't limit you in these options. You can seriously stack bonus powers. Yeah, so you can sort of like bolster a particular character, or you can spread it out amongst the group that you've got. So there's a lot through there actually. 2 hours on record. Again, so is there any negatives? The negatives I usually find give you the best information. These are only 2 review people. Yeah, this one, like, it hasn't really got enough time. I'm always suspicious of people who only write a couple of reviews. Yeah, some of these are only like 1 review. Yeah, that's an accurate one though, I've got to say. That is accurate. But it's sort of funny to see see people with only 2 reviews giving reviews. Does that happen much with games? I don't know. But there are a few people there that have, like, so I don't know if they're fake or not, those reviews. But anyway, the game is quite good fun to play. It does have the story-driven content. I didn't get a chance to get deep enough into the game to actually unlock it and actually sort of play the more procedural aspect of it. Okay, so there we go. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Okay, so we've got Colin Hand. Hi CB, how you going? Colin has then said, I think he means he has a pet snake as a child named Tape and lived on in Saturated Street. And I don't know if you guys know what that is actually referring to, but that's, oh God, how old is that thing of your first pet's name and the first street that you lived in name was the that's anyway, I won't go there. Look it up. It's your first pet and first street if you don't know what I'm referring to or what Colleen is referred to there. Actually based on saying, oh, that type of artist, lol. Sorry, we're having fun at your expense there, Tape Saturator. It does come across. That is such a funny way to mention that. All right, so first pet and first. Actually, I should get you guys to start putting in what what those names are, if you know what that's referring to. For the record, it's basically if you're going to be a porn star, what your porn star name would be, and mine would be Hujar Karajong. If you're sort of going through those sort of names, anyway, that's the one. Okay, what else have we got there? We'll move on. Very good, Colleen. That's very funny. Okay, so hi, Jonathan, how you going? And Jerry saying, hello, currently playing Galactic Civ 4 all due to Taz and battle mode. Great videos, guys. Thanks for that one. Do you know regarding an event, is there a way to minimize them to see, for example, your planet before making decisions for it? There isn't when you first get in there. Actually, there is something I've come across yesterday. Battle mode saying my stripper name is Daisy Kingston. There we go. Baseline is Coco Knight. It's so funny. It's been around for so long that aspect as well. Like I remember that I think at school that people were sort of coming up with that. So yeah, I've always just known that mine was Hujar Karajong. It's sort of just been a funny sort of little thing. Okay, hi Ben, by the way, and hi Sithel. Okay, so yeah, so as far as actually seeing the planets, that's not really a thing. There is something I found out though just yesterday. It was driving me nuts, and I do mean to get back to Stardock and actually give them some feedback. I might just fire it up actually, and just show you, because obviously in my live stream no one knew how to do it, and that was to upgrade a ship. And there is a way, but it's complex. It really is. It's not good. I don't remember how I did it in GalCiv 3, but in GalCiv 4, yeah, as I say, it's not a really good mechanic, I've got to say. So, and Rogue is saying mine would be Missy Highway 101. All right, so I'll just click back in here. I'll just go continue. And because when I left it, I was trying to actually upgrade some old ships, and I couldn't do it, but there is a way. I'll just get into this game. Yeah, so I'll answer that question as well before. So if we've got like a, like in, for example, if we just go across to planets. and have a look at some of the other planets. So we have a bit of a, you get a bit of a feel for it when you actually are looking at this one, but not specifically. So like in Betelgeuse, for example, there's we've got a planet called Betelgeuse, which is, where is the Betelgeuse planet? There. So I haven't got this one yet. This one actually had extreme colonization. It's a water world, and so the different class of world that these actually are. So like Betelgeuse is an oceanic world. That will then should give you information. Actually, you don't get it through there, but when you get used to playing the game, it will actually then present you with a, like desert worlds will give you mainly deserts. There's mountainous worlds. Ocean worlds will give you sort of like more lush sort of areas. You know, sort of jungles and that sort of stuff as well. Just see if I've got any that sort of fit the bill in through here. So that's a tropical world, for example, like this one here will give you. Why can't I? Oh, this is just a colony. That's right. So that's not an actual. So to find out what's actually there, like if I was going to thinking, okay, well, what am I going to do with this particular colony? It's an excellent one. I could actually bring in a governor, but I don't know exactly what's on the ground here beforehand. So I can get a bit of a sense that it's got 2 production, 2 research, 3 wealth, and 1 food. So that will give me a bit of a feel for what I could expect there to be. It's also a tropical world, so I can expect there to be a lot of jungle but some nice areas as well. So the combination of, I think, the top area and that one, if I just go and throw a governor in there, just getting the old one at this stage. Yeah, so this world, we're then sort of getting, like, for example, the thing where we should have a few wealth. Yeah, see how there's a number of wealth, because we did actually have wealth that was sort of showing up in that particular one. We've got some influence, doesn't really sort of show up much in that first one. A little bit of research, but hardly anything. And production, yeah, there's a bit of research in there as well. And then we've got tourism, but not, the production isn't great. But then we've just got basic planes, and so there was it had a little bit of production based on what was actually in there. But from that we could sort of see there is a fair bit of wealth in this particular world for when we do actually then go and settle it. But having settled it, we don't really have much of a, like, we don't know what we're going to get until we actually open up this particular screen. So hope that answers that one. Brian saying Snowflake Plymouth, there we go. Oh, that's funny. It's funny. The other thing, though, is actually upgrading your ships, and the only way to do it at the moment, and I hope that they change this, because this is completely unintuitive. I think I've got a group over here. I've got like I'll just move them off if we can. Yeah, I've got this fleet in here, for example. So let's just say that I want to upgrade, and I've got a ship in here that I do want to upgrade. This one here is an old Marauder class, which is like fairly old now, and I need to. The reason I need to actually upgrade this one is that I've just, at this point in time in the game, I've just redesigned the way that these ships actually then work. And if I just press Shift and go up into here, you can see there the shield strength is only 3 on that one there, about halfway down through the list. And so I've now got an upgrade for this one that actually then covers the shield better, because I was losing a few of these ships. And so in this case, to actually upgrade it, I actually assumed that I could go on to, for example, a shipyard and upgrade there, but oh no, it doesn't work that way. What you need to do is you need to find like using a go-to. You need to basically have a go-to, and then you need to create a new rally. This is so confusing. Anyway, this is the way to do it. I should make a video about this, because it really does not work. New rally point. Throw the rally point in there, for example. And we can always destroy this one afterwards and just go and just basically just leave it there. I'll just cancel that one through there. Then the individual ship has to go to that rally point. So if I go to this ship in through here and then tell it to go and move to the rally point, it then comes back out. This is the ship we want to upgrade, remember. When I've got the ship selected, it should then show, when I'm there, it should actually come up with an up arrow. So now it's not, even that's not working. Why is that not working? that'll be to at a destination. Actually, we're not seeing it there. It should be in here. There's usually a little up arrow thing. I wonder why I can't do it there. Does it have to be inside my territory? It's inside my territory. So it's our territory that we are in. That is weird. I'll try it with one of the others. If I go to, or is it in here? That's it there. Yeah, okay. So you got to do it from the rally point itself. It's so confusing actually with what's going on here. But if you go in and grab your fleet, with the fleet selected, I can then go and select the individual ships. Now I should be able to split these out. Again, it's a little bit confusing. I'll split out the dagger. I've now got this one here. Go to the rally point. I then actually have the upgrade button there. I can then click on the upgrade. I can then go through and go to what this thing can actually upgrade into. And so you can see through here, I've got like the Dominator 2A. For whatever reason, I can't actually do it in here. But this is the way that you do your upgrades. And it's really confusing as to what to actually then go and do. But that's what I should be able to do. I don't know why I can't actually do that. I'm not sure why that's also not letting me do that one right now. But that's the process, which is really awkward. So I'll just go back up the top there. Yeah, the Cocoa Knight. So Miguel is saying was not here in the last week's marble run because I was practicing it. I'll prevail this week. There we go. Only realised that Daz has a past as a corn artist. There we go. And Lewis is then saying, "Hi Daz, are you really enjoying GalCiv? I'm trying to play, but the game doesn't click yet." Think of it as a board game. That was, I think, for me, that was the thing that really sunk home as to how to approach GalCiv. Just treat it as if you're playing a board game. When you're playing a board game, so many of the mechanics are then are finessed and make it a little bit easier to sort of then go and play. I'll just get this one out of here. I don't know why that one's got such troubles to do the upgrades. Just get another one of these in and just see if we can actually upgrade an individual one here. So these are the only ones that they can actually upgrade to. I'm not sure why that's the case with this. Why I can't actually select those. Just move everything back in. Then when you do actually have a fleet, you can then go back and manage the fleet. Actually, things are not working well here for some reason. I don't know why. Normally you've got like a management area for the actual fleet itself. Anyway, that's it's awkward. It's a very awkward part of the game. But I have been enjoying it a lot, actually, I've got to say, playing it. I've been streaming it and recording it. Okay, so Battleman's saying it's a planet event. You can hover over the highlighted name of the planet to see at least the planet stats. Yeah, so it's a bit limited in through there. So Battleman's saying I don't think you're supposed to be able to upgrade ships in GalCiv. You used to be able to, but that is the only way to do it. So you can do it. Well, you could do it. Because I did it yesterday, and I don't think the game has updated since then. Like if I go back in, I do actually have like a rally point, for example, back over here. These are daggers. Don't know if I can do it in here, for example. Yeah, I'm not sure why I can't actually do these. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the that is the method at this stage, and I did do it yesterday, so it did work somehow, but I'm not sure if they have to start on this at the start of their turn. Like if I won't bother doing it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they have to have all their movement or something like this to be able to then go and do it. But also the fleet, there's normally a fleet management thing where you can sort of come back through and manage the fleets. You can do decommission. Yeah, it's not decommission. Anyway, yeah, baseline saying not supposed to be able to upgrade ships. Yeah, it's, do you have the new template ready? I'm not sure what that is, sorry, DS. And VQ is saying, is this GalCiv 3 or 4? This is 4. Battlemode's saying, it's not the intended feature to the best of my knowledge. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Okay, well, there it is there. It's still part of the, actual rally points. Yep, and you can only upgrade individual ships. So but that is, it's still got the upgrade dialogue in there. So I don't think I can, with the fleet itself, yeah, for whatever reason, it's just not letting me actually do the management of the fleet as well. There's normally a fleet management button. So if I grab the individual ship, yeah, if I just right click over the top there, here we go, here's the management there. So I can actually go through, grab that fleet and then sort of disband the fleet, which will then give me individual ships. So there are ways around it, but I might just, if you don't mind, I'll just quickly go through and just leave things where they are, and then we'll come back. Done. Not sure how I can just end this turn. Just press space. Sorry, I just rip through these. There we go. Just end our turn. We'll just see if that does it. So these are the better designed ships with the better armor on them. That's a group coming through. I'll just go back now that this is the next turn. See if it works now. Nope, still can't do it. Not sure why. Anyway, that was something that it took a long time to find that was the way to do it yesterday. But anyway, that's GalCiv. So hi Rob, how you going from Explorminate? So we've got now was there a question? So Bannerman's saying, yeah, GalCiv's like Mu 1 when to redesign ship is supposed to be part of the strategic making process because you can't upgrade existing ships. I know I did yesterday. I'm sure I actually followed through with that as well. Anyway, have you seen that aspect of it though, Ben? Like, I know that you've played the game a lot. Let's get into it. We've got VQ is saying no, GalCiv, yeah, nothing is saying GalCiv 4 is nothing like Mu 1. It's similar to a board game. Yeah, just yeah. I think that when you think of GalCiv like a board game, that all of the abstraction then makes sense. All of the way that all of the design decisions that make sense. Also, consider the scale of the game. Like, that was another thing that I've always played small games of GalCiv, but when you consider the large aspect of them, you do actually sort of get a bit more of a, I guess, a bit more of a sort of an appreciation for the fact that there does need to be abstraction in GalCiv. So it's not a simulation game. I think that's when you come from a game like Distant Worlds, which is 100% simulation, and then go into a game that is pretty much a board game. They're very, very different. So VQ is then saying, I actually like this game. Maybe you lack the resources to do the upgrade. The one I've got, I don't have any resources needed for it. The 2A, that 2A design doesn't have any special resources, so I knew that one was acceptable to be done. It's funny though, because I've got a version 3 of that as well, and that didn't even show up, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Yep, so you need to select all of them, then give an option to manage fleet. Yeah, so you need multiple, so that's okay. But I'm saying, yeah, I just meant in terms of the one design decision. So hi Victor, how you going? And we've also already said hi to Rob from Explorminate. So Baseline is saying, assume the AI plays by the same rules and is able to upgrade also. If that's, well, I couldn't get that to work that time, but I did want to show that because that was, I know that if you were watching my Twitch live stream, we spent a bit of time trying to figure out how to do upgrades, and that was the one way through, but it didn't seem to be working today. For what I don't know why today and not yesterday. Okay, so VQ is saying, what are your thoughts on the battle viewer? Do you like it, or could use some work? My big problem with the battle viewer, and it's funny because I used to hate it, like as in it was something that I actively really disliked. I now can see, again, with the mindset of treating it like a board game, I can see that that it has to be an auto battler. There's no real way, and particularly with the scale of the game. Remember, in GalCiv, you can have up to 95 factions playing in a massive universe. Like there's a massive amount you can actually do there. And so, if you were playing full-on tactical battles for every single battle, it would just be too much. Now, you could still get around that through having like an auto battle when you want to, and actually playing a tactical battle when you want to as well. But I've seen some shots like that were done in the beta of the game where they were playing massive combats, and I don't think the tactical battles would work well for that sort of scale the game does end up getting. And so in that case, I do actually sort of see that the need for having an auto battler. My problem with the auto battler is all the decisions are made in terms of your ship design, so well before the actual battle, and also the fleet composition, which is also well before the battle. What I prefer to have is some aspect you can change through scripting, a bit like Dominions, and have that as a feature closer to the battle. So for me, there's a disconnect between building the fleets, moving them around for turn upon turn, and then just going into a battle at that point. I'd love to see something where there's some sort of decision making right at the battle time, not for every battle, but just for setting up how your fleet will then work, just to give it that little bit of strategic choice at that point, because there's no strategic choice really, other than in terms of the combination of whatever you got in your fleet. So yeah, the battle viewer, I have come to like it, but whereas I used to not like it, but that's because my head's now in the mind of it being a board game, and so the auto battler sort of works for that one. I hope that makes sense. But that for me is I think it could still be a lot better. But I think it's okay, but it could be a lot better. Yes, this is saying, seems odd that one cannot upgrade ships. I do mean to give feedback actually back to Stardock about that, because I assumed I could do it. I just couldn't find the way to do it, because I know in GalCiv 3 you could. So VQ is saying, by the way, I love your Gladius Plus mod. It's awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah, it was sort of funny because I'll talk a bit about that one as well. I've made a few different mods for Gladius, for Warhammer Gladius, and the mod that I made was it's a mod, and so there's Gladius Plus, which is a really great mod. It rescales the whole game. But the guy who actually put it together, and I can't think of what the modder's name is, and he hasn't actually updated that for a long period of time. I think he's sort of abandoned it now. He says he hasn't, but I think he has. And so the Gladius Plus is rescales everything in the game to make it look more like a tabletop game. And so the Gladius Plus mod itself is very purist in terms of it tries to emulate what the actual tabletop scales would be. And so it doesn't, there were certain things that it missed, like it missed, for example, the ruins were always very small in the game. But also the actual, like he had monstrously large mech units, for example, which were, in the game, they were just incredibly large where everything else was quite small, and for a lot of people that was a disconnect. Also, the waypoints for the I forget which faction it is, the Eldar, I think it is. The Eldar waypoints were massive on the actual map itself. They take up multiple tiles, but the game has got like a nuance to them. So they're the little things with my mod where I went through and thought, I don't like the way the forests cover your units. with Gladius Plus. I don't like the ruins, don't like the wireweed. I had a big long list of things. Don't like the scaling of some of the units as well. They were just too big for me, just from an aesthetic side of things. So I asked the modder if it was okay if I made a mod. Would he be okay with me doing that? And so that's where mine is in addition to the Gladius Plus one. It just tweaks a lot of the stuff that he had done, and then also he hadn't addressed, as I said, the ruins or anything like that. So that's what that particular mod is, and that's available through the Steam Workshop. Okay, so we've got... let's come back through. So Brian's saying, Daz, wondering if I should wait to start playing Distant Worlds playthrough until the new DLC is released, or will that have little impact on gameplay? The impact on gameplay has already come. That's through the Discovery update. So the Discovery update, if you're not going to get the DLC, then play away right now, because the base game, the Distant Worlds base game right now is, I think it's 1.6 1.5 or something like that. I forget exactly what the numbers actually are, but the Distant Worlds, the base game, hasn't actually updated since they brought out the Discovery update, which was about a week ago. But that's the major thing for the actual base game itself. The DLC will then be added in on top of that. So so if you're not going to get the DLC, absolutely start playing again now. There's a lot of changes that are happening there. We might even have a bit of a look and see what's actually happening with Discovery. I was going to leave Distant Worlds for next week to sort of go through in detail, because spoiler alert, there's going to be a special presentation in a couple of days' time on the Slytherin Twitch channel from Eric Ruttens, again, going through the new DLC. So he'll be actually giving that on Wednesday. So at this, I think right at this time, actually, he'll be streaming at this time in 2 days' time on the Slytherin Twitch channel, and going through the new DLC. I'm actually streaming on Thursday and Friday, so 2 different streams on their channel as well with Distant Worlds. But I'm not streaming the new DLC. I'm only streaming the Discovery update. So there's. I asked if I could actually stream the new stuff, but then the week after, I think it's like the next week, they're then going to be starting to do more of a push for the DLC. So look out for that. It's Eric. Eric's one of the developers of Distant Worlds, and whenever he does a live stream, there's so much information you get from it. So it's actually worth watching those. I sort of religiously try to watch them afterwards. Often I'm asleep when he actually does those streams, but they're very, very good. All right, so then we've got so in that sense, the Distant Worlds, if you're not going to get the DLC, just start a new game, and away you go. So this is saying, chips, I like chips. I don't know where the chips came in, sorry. I've got no idea where that one was. Okay, so Explorminate, or Rob is then saying, you could definitely update chips in previous iterations. Yeah, absolutely. So I think it should be there, but it should be... I was intuitively going and trying to go back to a spaceport to actually then go and build it from there. That's where my head went. But but it was actually it's the rally points, which again doesn't make any sort of sense. And it definitely was working yesterday. Like when I finished streaming, I still had the game running, and then sort of had a bit of look and found that there was some information about that one. Ben saying to me, I'm going to look into that. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, just see if you can find out. Actually, that'd be really, really interesting to see. I'll also contact the people I've been dealing with at Stardock as well, and just give them some feedback. Also, the other feedback I've been getting from people who've been watching the live streams is there's a lot of interest in GalCiv 4, which more than what I thought. Like I'm getting pretty reasonable numbers of people watching the streams of GalCiv 4, which is great. Ben's just saying to Rob, wow, it's been a while since I played GalCiv 3, but I don't remember that. To be honest, I didn't do a lot of ship design in that one. Yeah, I'm sure that you can do the upgrades in GalCiv 3, absolutely. Michael is then sort of saying, did you get a chance to try out the new Age of Wonders 4 Hero class mods? Yes, I have. In fact, I've got a game which, unfortunately, it's actually, there's some things broken in this, I've got to say. Not in the mod, but in Age of Wonders 4. I've played a game. I've recorded 16 episodes, and I've now finished the series. I just haven't started uploading them yet. It's a very, very good mod. What this mod is, by the way, I'll just show you. I'll open up. I might as well just do a bit of this one in here. I'll just go and play. I've now finished off the what I was doing, but I'll open up sort of one of the mid-level areas and just sort of show you this particular mod, which is very, very cool. I've got to say, very cool. So, you know what? It may be the combination of mods that I have installed. I'll just go and open up, load in the game. I'm just trying to find some of the earlier ones. If I go in around here somewhere, maybe sort of like turn 67, this will be sort of mid-level. This map is supposed to be, so there's a few bugs in the game. I'm going to have to give feedback on this as well. We're playing with in this particular run through that I did, I ended up going up with a map called the Dark Hollows, which has got like a character called the Iron Emperor. So Utgard has chosen this realm to build a new empire. The Iron Emperor starts with powerful materium skills and also with one additional city. So it's not super difficult, but it's still more difficult than a normal game. These also come in on very hard difficulty, and then however else you set the game up will then sort of do whatever else you're doing. But this is a really interesting game. But the game itself, when you go and do this one, the victory conditions are either defeat the Iron Emperor to win the game or defeat everyone, and including the Iron Emperor. But in this case, I actually defeated him, and the game didn't end. So there's a bug there. I'll point that one out. I'll just load the game. This also, so there's a few little things that have, whenever there's a mod that's been updated, it will then tell you. See you later, Rob. Thanks for popping in. So in this case, I've just taken over a location here, like one of the major locations. But the characters themselves, if we have a look at our actual characters, so in this case, back here, there we go. So this is actually like a level 5 hero. And if I just go back into it and then go into the upgrades. So with that mod, what it is, in fact, I can't do it so much in here. But you have to choose a class. So it's actually like more of a role play type game, Dungeons and Dragons sort of style. This one here is a mage. So and I've got 3 aspects of the mage class that he then has. And so finally, through the back end of mage, I can then go through either to become a wizard or a necromancer. Once I get up to level 8, I think, or 6 or something. I forget sort of where it goes, but then this opens up even more class sort of aspects you can then go and do. But you need to then have like a number of, you need to sort of stay in this particular class. You then have adventurer modes as well, which give you sort of like basic upgrades. And then you've just got your standard old stuff down through here. So there's a lot more of these skills that you can then sort of go and place in the game. But it's really, really cool because it sort of gets you to think in terms of, actually I can't reset the skills on that one. If I just close that one, I have already rejigged that one. I'll just go to one of the others. This one here, for example, also level 5. So if I go back into here, now I haven't reset the skills. I'll show you with this one here. If I just go and reset, are you sure? Yes. And so in this case, you then sort of start off with archetypes. So we've got like an archetype of either like a fighter, a mage, a priest, or a scout. And then these lead out to other different things as well. So the fighter will then give you, will then split off into, where is it? There's a few different Berserker or Guardians. So you've got like ultimately a couple of different levels back in through there. The mage, as we saw, goes off into Necromancer or Wizard. The priest ends up going off into Warden or Templar, and then the scout goes into Ranger or Assassin. So in this particular playthrough, I've only got 3 heroes, and I've been playing them as mages, 2 mages and a scout. Is sort of what I ended up just playing with this one through here. But it's very, very cool. So when you sort of choose something, you then go back through and start to sort of build whatever it is that you sort of want to have in there. I'll just confirm that. And then as you sort of get more things, you can sort of do more things with it as well. Just confirm those. I've still got one more. Can I get beyond that? That's as far as I can get with that particular one. So I can't get back up into these other classes. I think the main hero that we have, sort of, that one sort of works out okay. But it's I'll just go that way for now. But anyway, it's a really, really good mod, I've got to say, in that one there. So anyway, that's this is a game I have recorded. I'm not impressed with the new update, to be honest, for Age of Wonders 4. I have had some really weird battles, but I don't know if that's coming from the actual mods that I've got. So I don't really want to. I don't want to say that the game itself is bad, but I've seen some really, really bad decisions from the AI. So, for example, I am using, and I wanted to test it to see what would actually end up happening, but I've got more aggressive AI, and I've got a funny feeling that there is actually killing off the changes for the actual game itself for me. So I'll probably get rid of that from my little list of things now. I've got like a lot of mods in here. By the way, if anyone does want to have this mod selection, I've actually got them on my coffee page, which you'll see down underneath my head, like just right below there. It says coffee.com/DazTactic. There is actually the mods that I've been using in this particular run through, although I've now just gotten rid of that one, are actually in that coffee page. So let's continue on. Sorry, I'm missing a few of the comments there. I'll just go back up. Okay, so yeah, so Victor is saying some updates to ships make sense, although bigger changes like replacing drives is not very realistic. I think that it should be able to be upgraded. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't actually upgrade with that last one. It's as I say, I did it yesterday and it worked, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So baseline saying, GalCiv 3 definitely lets you upgrade, yes. And Victor is in saying, I like auto battlers, like in Field of Glory Empires. Would be nice to add a bit more player agency though. Field of Glory Empires, well, you've either got like just the auto battle, which most games have got, but Field of Glory Empires is actually just a very, very refined tactical battle system. That actually does have you do play those battles out. You can just set it to auto and it will just play it out for you, but that's different again. So it's sort of, but that's a really, really cut down version again of combat with Field of Glory Empires. So Ben is, Rob is in saying that Ben is Stardock now, yes. Okay, so Cecil's saying the biggest mechs in Warhammer 40k is like walking cities, however, but I do not know if it's in there. It is the mechs that they've put into Gladius Plus were way too big in my opinion, and some of the other things were as well. So yeah, anyway, I just went through and just tweaked the things I didn't particularly like. But there's been other people also been adding in the things that now Gladius Plus, because it hasn't been updated for a few different DLC packs, and so the DLCs, there's actually Gladius Plus mods now that actually deal with those as well. Okay, so this is saying, yep, so Imperator class Titan is what I call a small city. Okay, let's keep on going. So do you plan on doing a Dominion 6 beginner's guide? Yes, I do actually. Definitely when that one does become available, I definitely want to be getting right into Dominion 6. I sort of probably will now leave it because it's now been announced. I probably won't do a Dominions 5. I might follow it through on my Twitch channel, but I don't think I'll do anything else on YouTube at this stage. Hi Sorbical, how you going? Okay, so Michael's saying, he's saying I thought you'd like it. Yeah, it's an incredible mod actually, that hero mod. Did you also notice that the AI plays a lot differently with the heroes in combat? Well, again, the AI has been throwing its leaders away in the game, and I don't know if that's to do with the mods that I've got or the actual what's it called? The Wayfarer mod or whatever it is that the Wayfarer update, whatever the latest update is. I haven't been impressed with it, but I have been playing with the mods, and so something's getting in the way of the mods and of the base game and making it so much more easy to win, which is a real shame. I had in that playthrough, I had a couple of instances where like the leaders of factions actually just came out on their own basically and got destroyed, which doesn't make any sort of sense. So I don't know what's actually happened there. So Chris is saying, have I covered the Master of Magic stuff yet? No, but I do want to do that one. We'll do that one next, actually. So thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I do want to cover that because that's also just come out today. So yeah, Rob was heading off, and William is then saying just a thought on GalCiv 4. Maybe the waypoint was to be used by a star dock. Maybe. Yep, so this is saying, I would say that your only goal is defeat the Iron Emperor. Beating the others seems to do nothing towards winning the game, more than getting their resources, of course. Yeah, but I did. Like at the end of my run, in the end, I had to surrender because I did end up defeating the Iron Emperor. Spoiler, that's when that one does come out. But birth stage, by the end of it, I'm sort of, I'm that far ahead that I'm always going to be winning anyway. So this was saying, funny how people first complained that heroes were too limited and then added more levels to them. Now they want them to be more limited with classes. Yeah, I think people lose. I think the problem that I think that people have with Age of Wonders 4 is there's a disconnect with the with not just the heroes but the actual units themselves. You don't immerse yourself in the actual specific unit. You immerse yourself more in the class of unit that it actually is. So I see the like whether it be a skirmisher or a charging type unit, like an assault unit or a shield unit. Those sorts of things have a sameness about them, but isn't really there, but feels like it's there. And I think that for me, that's actually part of the problem with Age of Wonders 4. It's sort of funny, like it's funny how it feels like it's very close to being something really exceptionally great, but just not quite there. And it's just a weird one. I'd love to be able to put my finger on it. Okay, Benjamin's just sort of saying, yeah, we replace engines in all sorts of vehicles today, so we'd assume we'd do that for starships in the future. Yeah, I don't have a problem with being able to change the whole design, as long as it's within the same class, the same sort of size. So, yeah, Victor's saying, I'm thinking about replacing a steam engine with a turbine in a naval ship. That's more like building a new ship. Yeah, that's true. In fact, it's that's modelled really quite well in Rule the Waves 3. Like they do actually have even that. They do actually model that quite well with the engine upgrades, the way things can then sort of work. But this is to try to be more realistic. Whereas, again, GalCiv is all about getting your head into that board game mechanic. Hi, Sabosco, how you going? So Banksy is then sort of saying, hello, Master Technician, I'm new to your channel, so welcome. Enjoying the content, looking for a deep game with great replayability. Was thinking Dynasty Empires. Any more suggestions? Dynasty Empires hasn't been upgraded for a long period of time, so it's still supposed to be being developed. It's a good game. Better games, like I think that Age of Wonders 4 is a better game than Dynasty Empires. It's got a lot more polish. Dynasty Empires is right there. But yeah, Dynasty Empires is a good choice. It is a fun game. The procedural generation is good as well. It does sort of play like an early version of the original Age of Wonders series, so it's more sort of like that. There are other things you can put in there as well. There's a mod that you can get for Dynasty Empires, which also does improve it and make it sort of feel a bit better, but it doesn't really sort of change it dramatically. But yeah, I think that Age of Wonders 4 is definitely better than Dynasty Empires at the moment. I do hope that Dynasty Empires does get more attention though, because it is very, very good. But yeah, no, the Dynasty Empires is a good choice. It's a good choice if you're looking at that and thinking that you might be interested. There's certainly a lot of replayability in that game, like a hell of a lot. Okay, so anyway, and welcome to the channel. Kratz and Science saying good evening, so good evening back, or good morning for me. So William is saying deep, repeatable would be Shadow Empires. Honourable mention, maybe Distant Worlds. Deep and repeat, yeah. Shadow Empires is, it's a funny one. See, Shadow Empires, people also complain that there's a sameness to the approach that you take. Now, I love Shadow Empire. Like it is great, and it's so procedural. It's unbelievable. Like the actual, the place that you're playing on. So it really is very, very different. But Dynasty Empires as well, where you sort of start off, will also give you not the same sort of, not exactly the same thing, but I'm thinking in terms of your actual the actual challenge when you play a game. They're both very, very good in that regard. Like there is still, both games would have a sameness to the way that they do present. I think that the difference, in my head I'm thinking, with Shadow Empire, there's a sameness to the way that you do approach the start, and you're always starting off as a human faction. With Dynasty Empires, there's still the sameness, but you have a choice, and same with, actually probably more so than even Age of Wonders. The way that you start off in Dynasty Empires really comes down to the faction you're playing. And so you've got like a more broad range of doing things, if that makes sense. So depending on the game experience that you're looking for, Dynasty Empires will give you, like playing as the Orcs, you can be much more aggressive. If you're playing as the Wood Elves, you need to be sort of looking for forests and jungles and trying to sort of stay inside those. The Dwarves, you're looking for mountains. So you've got different types of things you focus on in Dynasty Empires. Whereas Shadow Empire, it really just comes down to, what planet am I on? And now I'm going to be playing as the same sort of group of humans, but now we've got like a different environment to contend with. It's both great games, like really, really amazing games. Now, where do we get up to? Sorry, the chat's now gone off in different directions. Yep, so, yes, William's saying, although Distant Worlds 2 plays more like a sim than a war game type. Yeah, Distant Worlds 2, again, I love Distant Worlds 2. Like, it would still be my favourite Space 4X, but that's because it is a simulation game, not a... it's not like games like GalCiv and Stellaris are more board game style 4Xs, whereas Distant Worlds is very much a simulation style. So... very, very different very different approaches. Where are we up to there? Cranston, did you check Revival Colonization already? Not today, and I did look at it a few weeks ago, but I haven't actually tried it there at all. Jerry's in saying Shadow Empire, every time I try playing a different game, somehow always going back to Shadow. It is great replayability because of the differences in the planet types. It really is amazing. And there's more and more stuff coming through with that. More updates coming all the time with Shadow Empire. Exceptional game, actually. That really is an exceptional game. Battlemed's then sort of saying, actually Jerry's saying Shadow Empire, we've done that one. And then Battlemode is then saying to Banksy, Dominions 5, Shadow Empire are two games that fit the bill. Yeah, Dominions 5 is another one. Dominions 5 is one that's gives you so much, again, a bit like with Dynasty Empires, you've got like, I think, 7 factions I think you can play as. Might be more than that now, actually 7 or 8 anyway, that you can sort of play the game as. Whereas Dominions has got 50, and each one of them does play very, very differently. So Dominions is an exceptional game as well. Like if you don't mind the poor graphics, in both games they're pretty bad, the graphics. But yeah, incredibly deep. Dominions is also incredibly deep, and also doesn't have the same. Like these don't play out the same way whenever you play them. I think it comes down for me, the procedural generation of maps is just so important, and these games sort of excel at those. Where did we get up to? So VQ is saying, Daz, that's set up on your desktop. What is that? This is a thing called Fences, which is also put out by Stardock. I've had Fences for so long on my computers. I can't not have Fences running on a computer. This is now available through Steam, by the way. So you can actually grab the, in fact, Benson sort of saying it's Stardock Fences. And you can get that through Steam as well, but you can also get it directly from Stardock. So the version I've got is from Stardock, because I've had it for so long, but it did come out on Steam recently. Okay, so Christopher is saying there's a new DLC available for Warhammer 40k Battle Sector, the Khorne Demons, and which you can play as the Khorne Demon faction. Yes, I've got it installed. I got it yesterday, but I haven't actually played it yet. So Battle Sector has become such a good game now. It's funny because I really didn't like it when it launched. I thought it was very one-dimensional, but it really, like with these new factions coming in and the way that they're sort of changing the procedural approach to the campaign, there's a campaign mode that is now more procedural, so you can actually sort of play as them. They've been actually in the game for a little while, those demons, but they weren't playable, but now they are playable. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water, be right back. right. Hi Andrew Ryan, how are you going? Bettermode's saying Fences is great, and I ain't just saying that, I've been using it ever since I saw Dad's using it. Yeah, I've had it for, it must be well over a decade. I use it all the time. The other great thing about it is you can just grab, like, as long as you don't do it inside the actual fences themselves, you can just grab any piece of sort of screen real estate and just swipe it, and then you've got like other screens. I've got 3 screens. I've got one, this one's for recording, and I've got 2 monitors. Like, I've got other stuff on my other monitor when I swipe. So I've still got things on this screen, but they're hidden away. So that's sort of like a clean way. And if I just go back into there, so that's my gaming screen, and then the first one, the actual first one, is for my clients. Like if a client comes and needs to sort of, and I'm sharing the screen going through work. This is my work one. So it sort of looks more like a, with the various things that I do for my actual day job. But it's just a middle click and click across, and away you go. It's very, very cool. So yeah, this is just purely for gaming. So, but no, it is a great little resource there. So Chris is saying, just correcting that to revival recolonization. I haven't actually had a look at it. So Vicky was saying I was screwing around with my start menu, looking for the settings that lead to it, and couldn't find it. There we go. Michael's saying you should also have a look at Battle Brothers banks. Yeah, Battle Brothers. I don't know. That's a different sort of game again. If you mention Mighty Empires, and I sort of think if you're sort of heading off in this direction, if your mind is there for Fantasy 4X's, then yeah, I think Dominions is a good call. I don't know if Battle Brothers is, because Battle Brothers is much more a tactical, sort of like a tactical combat type game. It's a great game, but a different sort of mode. Other ones are, Master of Magic is up there as well. Like that's in fact we're going to be talking about Master of Magic in a minute. This is really the new DLC, which we'll talk about. Actually, I'll just get through these and then we'll come back and do that one there. Where did we get up to? We're nearly at the end of the chat so far. The Stream Strategy Fest is going on. I'm not sure if you've mentioned. I haven't actually, and I also didn't mention. It's actually I've stumbled across a few different events that have now been happening in the Northern Hemisphere. We've got the Gamescom, is I think just finishing today, or just finished over the last day or so. So Gamescom is, or we might still have one more day to go or something. So Gamescom is going on in Cologne in Germany. You've got an Animecon, I think, which I've heard about, so an anime style sort of comic convention, I think, in England. And there's one in America, a furry convention as well. So you've got your choice of different conventions in the Northern Hemisphere. So I'll leave that for you guys to have a look at yourselves as to what's going on there. I haven't really had a good look to see what's happening with Gamescom. I don't know if there's been any releases that are worth sort of having a look at. We'll have a look at all that in due course. Okay, so the stream, yep, so we've done that. So we haven't actually gone through the Strategy Fest. Now, we might have a look at that. Actually, I didn't even know it was on, to be honest. I knew there was something on, but I thought it was something different. I didn't think it was the actual Strategy Fest. So I may be wrong about that one. Wolftooth is saying, your revival recolonization is okay in my opinion, but it gets stale very fast and lacks replayability. Yeah, for me, replayability is massive. Like, that's something I really like. Cecil's saying Humble Bundle has a bundle with fences in it, so many people might want to check that out. And Battlemode's saying Fences is part of a bigger suite called Object Desktop, loads of cool widgets to make Windows nicer to use. I use some bits and pieces from it. I've always avoided the Object Desktop. It just seemed too intrusive. It reminded me, I hate to say this, but Object Desktop reminded me of the little paperclip from, remember the bad old days of Windows with the helper. It's just sort of a funny thing about that the other day. I forget where I saw it. I saw something about the paperclip. I can't remember what that actually was. Yeah, that's my boss mode. Yeah, I work for myself, but yeah, that's definitely is. Bring that across if I have to share the screen. So I've got all the various graphics, video, web and code, etc. All the different bits and pieces in there. So different things in those ones as well. Anyway, let's get back to it. This is the fun screen. This is where 99% of my screen being open is open to. All right, let's move into Master of Magic. Actually, let's have a quick look and see if we can find out more about the Steam page. See, normally if there was a fest on, it would actually come up, and it isn't. So I don't know what's going on there. And they haven't highlighted it. Are you sure Strategy Fest is on? I thought there was like a different type of Strategy Fest that was that had just finished, but I can't think of what it actually was. Just have a quick look and see. August 28th. Yeah, okay, it's on now. Or is it? Yes, it's 28th. It's the 29th for me now. Event runs from UTC 7. Oh, hang on, that's 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So I'll so what is it? 7? Was it? What was the date? It was the 10 a.m. Pacific. Pacific to Sydney or Australian, doesn't really matter. Yeah, okay, so it has just started an hour ago. So why is it not showing up? Okay, well that's definitely worth having a look at. Let's do that. So that started an hour ago apparently. So yeah, definitely want to have a look at that one. Yeah, weird. Let's go back into there. I'll just do another refresh. It's not showing up. Yeah, it's not going to show it there either. Okay, not sure why it's not actually coming up. So Bannermite's saying I can't see it either. Yeah, so no one's actually seeing it. So Kratzenstein's saying I see you put a video up about Untamed Tactics. How's that game and worth a buy? It's well, that's going to be the giveaway today. So I covered that at the very start of the session. So just going through what the game actually does bring in. So it doesn't have a lot of procedural content. So like there is replayability, but it doesn't have a lot of procedural content. But the giveaway is Untamed Tactics. That's what we're giving away today. So yeah, I don't know why we're not seeing that. Like if that started an hour ago, maybe we'll come back to it and just see if it's been updated again at some point in time. This is again another one of these instances where our strategy gamers are sort of relegated to the back room. But yeah, that's definitely try to see if we can find something else about that when we get to the back end of it. Let's go to Master of Magic. So Benjamin's saying going to Age of Wonders 4. It's at the top for me. Okay, let's try that. Age of Wonders 4. There we go. Right. Okay, so we can get across into here. We do it that way. That is a backdoor way, isn't it? We've come in through the back door, and we have 1 week of looking at this. So so let's have a look and see what this one does bring us. So check out some of the mini strategy titles on Steam by exploring the subgenres below. Each one lets you narrow it down on games here, blah blah blah. So we've got now what we're looking for. We'll just go through what we actually have. So 75% off Steel Division 2. I've never played that. Bloons 2D6, 50% off. No idea what that is. Bit too old now. Hadean Tactics. I've never played that. It's an auto battler. It's saying card battler. Probably this is something I wouldn't be interested in playing. I don't think. Anno 1800. Actually, that's not bad. 75% off. This is very positive with its reviews. I haven't played that either, but that's something that I would be interested in. Iron Harvest. Now, I don't actually have Iron Harvest, but I've got the board game adaptation of Iron Harvest. So that one looks pretty good. It's only mostly positive, and it came out a few years ago. Looper Tactics, that looks like a card game. Yep, so more card-driven. Again, not really of much interest to me, I don't think. It's positive with its user reviews. What else have we got? So back in through here, these are all items. Back in through this other side. Now, it's funny that it would actually show like Warhammer 3, Total War Warhammer 3, but it's a fest, but it actually doesn't have. It's got all the items. I guess they're all strategy games. I mean, if I wanted to just go to discounted, let's just do that and see what we end up getting. It's funny also, I find that with these fests, if it's not 50% or more, I don't think it's I tend to skip over them. Like, anything that's sort of got like a 70%. So Hearts of Iron 4, yep, no worries. That's got 70% off, 75% off for the King. That's a pretty cool game, actually. That's you can see they're very positive. Is the reviews for that one? That's actually not bad, actually, for the King. Not bad at all. 75s. Yes, we've got a few that are sort of worth having a bit of a look at. Stellaris 70% off. That's good if you don't actually have Stellaris, and that's also very positive. Victoria 3 only 30% off. That's only mixed. Now, Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga. This is overwhelmingly positive. Only 33% off though. So again, not a great special. EU 4. 60%, 90% off for Civ Meyer's Civilization. Balloons, I've got no idea. This is overwhelmingly. I've never heard of this. Balloons TD6. Yeah, it's got 238,000 overwhelmingly positive user reviews. I don't think I've even heard of that one. Shadow Gambit is very positive. This is actually a game that just came out a few weeks ago. I meant to show this one, but it's only 10% off. So it's not really like you wouldn't call it a massive sort of special. Might have a look at balloons. Oh no, that's why I don't play it. It's like a bullet hell game. So that's the reason that I haven't seen it. Tower defense strategy multiplayer. Yeah, no, I don't tend to play tower defense. I play them occasionally, but I don't particularly like them. Let's just do one more screen of things. Hadean Tactics. So it says very positive. Came out fairly recently. Again, not my type of game. Anno, we had a look at there before. Wandering Village is only 25% off, so not really a massive thing. Northgard is a really good game. It's fairly old now, but that is very positive with 43,000 reviews, 70% off. XCOM 2, wow, from 2016. It's ancient, but 90% off is very, very good. That's probably the pick of them so far, I think, from what I've sort of seen. The Civil War. Now, this is Grand Tactician. I never played this. It says mostly positive, which is good to sort of see. Iron Harvest, again, mostly positive. Looper Tactics. Now, this one here, only 33 reviews. It's a card battler. Yeah, so we saw that before. Warno is very positive, 5,000 reviews, but only 25% off. Endzone, no idea what that one is. Just do one more screen, see what else they've got. There we go, Master of Magic, 30% off, actually. So we will talk about this in just a minute. So 30% off, but they do have the new DLC coming. Don't know how often they're going to be having specials, actually, with Master of Magic. It's the new DLC is really, really good, I've got to say. Like, it really is exceptional. We'll come back for that in just a minute and start talking a bit more about that one. Actually, there we go. Brad is then sort of saying that Steel Division 2 is great. I haven't ever played it. Even Age of Wonders, 20% off at the moment. Bee Island, what the hell is that? Sandbox, this is very positive, but only 53 reviews. Yeah, it looks like a real-time game. Sandbox simulation, funny. Physics. It says the right words for me. Sandbox is a tick. Simulation is a tick for me. Physics and single player. These actually, I might have a look at this as well. We'll have a look at it in just a minute. It's only 35% off. Timberborn. Now that's when did that one come out? That was 2021. I was interested in this when it was due to come out, but then I saw something about it and didn't really like it. Cosmoteer, only 15% off. It is overwhelmingly positive. It's an incredible game. War Tales is 20% off. The developers never get back to me about this one. I keep on sort of making contact every so often. A lot of developers don't look at their press emails. Untamed Tactics has come in with 15% off right from the start there. So actually, that's interesting. So just in the time we've been streaming, it went from 2 reviews to 10 reviews, which is positive. All right, let's send Frostpunk down the bottom there. 80% off for Frostpunk. Very positive reviews in through there. 77,000 of those. That's actually pretty good as well. I think that if you don't have, if you do not have XCOM 2 at 90% off, that's for me looks to be the best of them at this stage. Northgard as well, $10 basically, or $12 Australian, so it's going to be about $8 US, I guess. That's also a great game. A really, really good game, that one. But we're going to have a look at Bee Island. Let's have a quick look at this one. Oh, so Strategy Fest only comes up on the games that have actually opted into Strategy Fest, I guess. So they're not making a big deal about it. Obviously, Steam isn't. This is the launch trailer. Let's have a look and see what this actually tells us. Tower defense. Should have the sound off. Oh well, too late. If there's if my video is going to be claimed, that's just done it. Let's have a look at this one in here. So you build an island by the looks of things. So you've got different things down in here that you can build. Now, do these just pop up at different times? No, you do actually have a choice. So it looks like industry, a fence. I'm not sure what that is there, and then armies or workers potentially. So they come in and build stuff in around here. I'm thinking that it's just been sped right up. Now, the fact that it's showing a wave coming, so it looks like it's going to be one of these games that's going to be very much time pressure, which I don't like. So that already would annoy me. Yeah, so we can see that there's like waves coming at different times. So here's the wave. So we're in the fight mode now. Looks like you don't have to do anything yourself if you don't want to. It looks like you can then take over aspects. So this bit of it looks more like an auto battler, like a tower defense. Looks like you can take over certain turrets, doesn't it? So the wasps come in, and dragonflies and things. And you get another wave coming after that. Looks interesting. I just don't know here. So take control of the hive and protect from enemies. Build factories and defense, research technologies, and if necessary, use nuclear weapons, but do not let the enemies harm the queen. I don't know if there was an active pause, I'd probably be into it. So enemies attack you high from time to time. They drop bombs, spray poison, and launch rockets. Each time they come, it will be stronger. Build ballistae, machine guns, anti-aircraft, blah, blah, blah. Choose your path. Factories, yeah, 7 types of factories. It's got relaxation. Okay, it looks like there's a mode just to build and just enjoy it, I'm guessing. Well, if it says the word relaxation, I mean, it looks like they've stopped writing what they're supposed to have written in there. But if that's the case, then maybe it would be something that's a bit more laid back than anything else. 1.6 hours, 2.9. Yeah, so here we go. Honestly, much better than I thought it would be. The game is quite interesting and fun, worth spending time and money. 1.6 hours. 1.7. It's a weird and funny game. 2 hours. Firstly, there's a lot of potential here, and hopefully it turns out to be a great game. However, there are a lot of bugs. I wonder if that's supposed to be a joke, that need addressing and functionality that needs to be implemented before it can get in there. I'll review again at a later date. Still gave it a thumbs up though. 54 hours. What? Oh, 1.1 hours at review time. So this person obviously likes it. Moth carpet bombing, 10 out of 10. 13 hours in through here. I love this game. I like the trailer. Actually, only half an hour at time of the review. So the fact that they keep on playing though is a good sign. Where's the negative reviews? Are there any negatives? There's no negatives at all. Okay, I might pop that on my little list actually to follow up.
We're gonna have a party.
So there's more back in here. I won't worry about that one. So what was that called? Bee Island. Just throw that on there. Okay, AI War is 75% off, says Wolftooth. There we go. So, and Dom 5 is on sale as well, says Ben. How much is that? Let's have a look and see. Just go back in there again. Scroll down a bit deeper in that case. So we'll load them in. If we go to the discounted, it's pretty. What about new and trending? Yeah, Bee Island's in there. Thronefall is a really good one. This is yeah, you can see Thronefall is overwhelmingly positive. I think I put a video up about that. I did actually. Yeah, this is a sort of tower defense that I really do like. That's not on special though. Okay, so it's not on special. Rogue Station is something that is very, very cool as well, which I've got to do a video on. Spoiler alert, next week the giveaway will be Rogue Station as the giveaway key. I've been playing it a bit and I've really, really been enjoying it a lot. Jagged Alliance not on special. So these are just the new things that have come back in. Mixed reviews there for Dust Fleet. Looks good. 6 Ages 2. I have heard about that one. It's sort of like a story rich, but I think it's almost like choose your own adventure type thing. Edge of War is positive, very positive there for Affogato. No idea what that is. Untamed Tactics. Yeah, so even now it's like there's another 5 reviews that have come through for that one. I was worried about seeing so many like 1 review people though for that one. So it's might have another look at that and just sort of see what the reviews are like. If they're still just there's a few people that had put in reviews. Let's have another quick look down. You see 2 reviews, 1 review. There we go. This one's new. Yeah, recommended. So this one goes through the negatives of it, and again, the negatives often give you a story. So clumsy animations, yeah, I can see that one. Minor bugs, yep, that will be fixed. Repetitiveness. I didn't get far enough in the game, and I'm guessing this person didn't either at 2.6 hours, to be honest. And quite generic narrative. Again, that's early days for this one through here. Yep, dual shots. I think we had a look at that one through there. Here we go. Quite mid-strategy, to be honest, but I find it relaxing. 2.4 hours is good. Now, here we go. We're getting some realistic things in through here now. I didn't expect BG3 in the first place, but yep, it's just a simple tactics from indie devs. Not a bad game though. That's only half an hour playing. Art style. So again, a legitimate person. There's so many people that are posting just from 2 reviews. Not that that's you can't really sort of put anything on that one. But when we had a look before, it was predominantly people who hadn't really didn't have any other reviews. But anyway, that's but yeah. So anyway, that'll be the giveaway when we get to it. What else have we got in here? So the Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, which came out in July. Again, not on special. So you're saying that Dominions is on special. It very rarely does go on special. Oh yeah, 50% off. Wow. Well, that's worth getting. If you don't have Dominions, yeah, that's definitely, because this hardly ever goes on special. Like, that's really, really interesting, actually. So yeah, so with Dominions at 50% off, that is definitely worth a buy. If you don't have it, great game, that one. The thing with Dominions is that they've kept on adding and adding and adding to it as well since it released, and so it's sort of like it's very different than when it did actually release in terms of the factions you've got. Like, it came out in 2017, but it's it keeps on getting, like, if we go across and have a look at the community hub for Dominions and look at the news, so major change in July, for example. So they've got this is sort of give you a bit of a feel as to what they actually then go and do. So this is 5.61. Quite often there'll be new factions that come in as well. So if we just go through there at different updates, 5.6, modding changes. They really do support modders, different drivers. Actually, I don't know when the last lot of factions did come in. Oh, it's a fair while ago by the looks. I forget that. I thought they had recently just some other things where they'd brought in some other factions. Yeah, they certainly brought them in since then. Certainly have. Maybe I'm skipping over them and not seeing the actual changes. They're probably in the middle there. Anyway, Dominions 5, I would probably put that, even though it's only 50%, you've got XCOM and Dominions. That would be the two that I would think would be the good ones there. So yeah, Dominions is a game that doesn't get old. So that's one. It's a classic in the way that it's sort of been put together. So it's one of these games that it looks like crap when you play it. So it's not going to be a problem playing it for decades and decades to come. So yeah, that is definitely worth having a look at there. That particular Dominions. If you have a look at the reviews there, I guess if we just go back to the store page. I'll try to find a negative. Yes, it's very positive. 94%. I mean, that really does tell you. There's not very many reviews. I mean, it is a game that does take. Here we go. We've got 15 hours on record, 4 at time of review. So he's saying, "I'm sorry, as the owner of Dominion since Dom 2, I kind of have to say this, but believe me, I'm going to get hell for this one. But Dominions 5 didn't need to exist. The feature list." I won't go through all of this, but there is some negatives there. As I say, you often do find out more about things. See, this is I don't agree with this. Like, I think that Dom 5 was so much easier to play in terms of what they did with the user experience than Dom 4. This is very common. I don't know when this one review was done. Yeah, this was done right at the launch, and yeah, and a lot of this was very, very commonly said at that time. Like, why would you get Dom 5 when you got Dom 4? But Dom 5 was a new engine and all sorts of different things like that. But it really, like, even at launch for me, the user experience with it was so much better than Dom 4. I actually really thought that, and this is somebody who has played since Dom 2, and for me, Dom 5 was the game that was going to be great for new players. So it was like when people used to ask me, is it worth, if I've got I've never got into Dominions. Should I, grab 4 or 5 type thing? 5 was definitely the one to go for. So, yep, include my suggestion in the review for large maps. This isn't a problem yet, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. Anyway, it's interesting to see what people sort of wrote, but that was very much a common criticism of the game back when it first came out. That's pretty much it. But there are a lot of reviews there for Dom. But I would say that at 50% off, very, very rare to get specials. And now there will be more specials of Dom 5 when Dom 6 does come out. But if you wanted to get just a feel for the game before Dom 6 does come out, then that one I think would be a good one to grab right now. So thanks. I think it was Ben that you might have mentioned that was actually on special. So thanks for that one. So Battlemate's saying that thinking that it'll be around November, December for that's when they've been releasing traditionally. When they released the previous one, I think it was in November of 2017. I think it was. I'm thinking it'll be about the same sort of. That's probably when they're aiming to release. Basilan saying all hail Dom 6. Yes. Just saying, Daz in chat, what is AI War 2 like? I keep on eyeing it up. That is a good game. It's a fairly old one now. AI War 2. When did that one come out? 2019 actually, so it's not that bad. Not that far back as I thought. What they did with AI War and AI War 2, I didn't ever cover AI War 2. I did it with the original AI War, but it ramps up. It's got an interesting sort of mechanic to it, but it's one of these games where you've just got like squillions and squillions of units. Like it's one of these things where you just tell them where to go and then just go off and do it. So you've got just heaps and heaps of them coming back in. So, and I like the immersion of having like a few ships that I actually know and can connect to, whereas this is much more about just getting masses and masses of ships. Sort of moving through. So I never really warmed to it because of that. It's an interesting game, though, the way it does sort of work out. It's got like a mechanic where if the more threatening you are, the more the game will then turn against you. So it is a very good game, but you can see there's no let's have a look at each individual ship and figure out what to do with it. So it's it's still got graphics and things, but it really is not. You essentially are just managing the those masses of ships to then sort of get choke points and sort of stave different things off. It's a good game, but it's not the sort of game that I love playing. If I had to think of my top 4Xs, Space 4Xs, I don't ever think of AI War. It just doesn't sort of enter into my mind. But it is a good game. I mean, you can see they're very positive, 88%. We won't play that, but anyway, that's that one. Okay, let's go back to Master of Magic. So we'll talk about what's coming here because this is just released. Don't know if there'll be reviews for this one here as well. So Master of Magic is mostly positive. I think it's around 70%, but it does deserve to be better than that. It's such a clean version of like taking the original game, rebuilding the original game pretty much close to it, and then sort of and then adapting it and tweaking it from there. It's been really, really cool to sort of see them do this. So I think this game's just going to get better and better over time. 30% off. Now, I don't think this one's been on special either. I think that there will be specials that will come at different times. Now, you don't actually have the bundle information. We've got Rise of the Soul Trap, which is not on special at this stage. So I'll have a look and see if there's only one user review in here for now. But I highly recommend this DLC. If you like Master of Magic, it is really, really good. It adds a lot to the game. Just leave that one. Actually, I'll just leave that one off. If we come back down, just have a look at the review that if there was one down in here. That I'm a beta tester of this DLC, but I brought the copy on my own money. Everyone is going to focus on the Tech Magic Tech Master pick and the Tech Race Soul Trap, but I think that is the missing point. The Retorts Wizard picks. This is going to be interesting, actually, having somebody who's actually was a beta tester. The Retorts Wizard picks in this DLC are all crazy fun. Let's turn off.
For AI.
Turn off that one there. Okay, so and this is true. Like you do gravitate to the big shiny bits of the DLC. So I do agree with what they're saying in here. And you've sort of got to cover that when you're doing a video, because that's actually what it's all about. See you later, Rogue. I'll see. Just saw your message there. Hi, Trank. How you going? Just going to look at the ones that have mentioned my name there, just so I can just cover those out through there. So this one here, the Retorts Wizard picks in this DLC are all crazy fun in the grand tradition of Master of Magic. That is, taking them changes your playing style. Here are some. So the Demonologist. This was really, I had so much fun with this, and this is very true. You don't play with these when you are looking at the base faction. Like it's, but this one, just combining this with other things is really, really good. So Demonologist, 1 pick, requires 1 death, 1 chaos, and Conjurer. Remember that the fun playing 10 or 11 book death and picking wraiths or shadow demons. This one duplicates a twist, but with a unit called Lesser Shadow Demons, and it really is amazing. Unlike the 10 to 11 books strategies, you even start with this unit. You also have that unique spell summons Lesser Shadow Demons. That said, Lesser Shadow Demons are only 2 figures and have lower stats per figure than the real set Shadow Demons, so they become almost useless much faster than usual. But they really do. The Demonologist allows you to expand in the game really, really quickly, like extremely quickly. So it's a really fun pick, and you don't really need to be picking the Soul Trapped race. So that even though the Soul Trapped, it's called, like, it references the Soul Trap race. There's so much more. The Demonologist is a great addition. Mirren Refugee is another great addition as well. What this one does is it allows you to bring a Mirren faction back onto Arcanus and sort of play as with one of the actual Mirren factions on the overworld. And so this is worth 2 picks. This one allows you to start with a Mirren race on Arcanus. When I first saw this felt weak, since it was costing the same as a Mirren pick. After all, one of the major advantages besides the powerful Mirren race is that you start in a plane typically isolated from the others. However, on playing, you will notice that this is misleading. Mirren races, like the goblins in the free DLC, are more powerful than average Arcanus races. Yeah, so they tend to dominate once they get onto Arcanus. Typically, if you start in Mirror, the runes and dungeons are also much more powerful, so you don't get a faster start. But with Mirren Refugees, you can now have a much faster start with Trolls, Goblins, Draconians, etc. And so that's very true. Because of their innate power, the Mirren factions do very, very well on Arcanus right from the start. Not as fast from when I've been playing the game as the Demonologist. Getting those Lesser Shadow Demons out, getting a couple of them out and about doing things is really, really cool. Like it's really good fun, actually, to sort of be able to then use them effectively. They're flying units as well, so they can't really be targeted easily. Might Max right. This is another interesting way to play as well. So 5 picks, but you're restricted to 2 maximum spell books. This is hands down the most Master of Magic-ish wizard trait in the game that makes playing Master of Magic a totally different game. Part of the new default Troll Wizard, which gives all your non-fantastic units and heroes +3 resistance. Anyway, that one then just sort of changed it so you play a lot with less magic, but with more resistance, with very, very strong armies. The Veteran Warlord, again, 1 pick. This pick probably is the most boring. Gets you 1 extra swordman at the start. Yep, that's okay. Technomaster. This one here is one of the things where the DLC is pretty much sort of highlights. Requires 3 spellbooks in 2 different schools. This one was poised to be most interesting, but in fact feels the least interesting to me. The new spells were nice, I guess, but nothing much that was awesome. You also get +5% research bonus and a starter drone at the start. The drone factor of this one, the actual drones that you then can call in, they are hands down the best scout unit in the game. And so the Technomaster, for me, it was more about the scouting than anything else. It allowed you to very quickly get a strategy together because of the scouting. So you can very quickly have a look at the map by taking the Technomaster. But I think what he's sort of saying through here, it was poised to be the most interesting, but in fact feels the least interesting to him. I could see why. It does have some bonuses, but nothing much that doesn't feel like it should be the main sort of feature. There's so many. Everything else he's mentioned up in here really does make it. Does make it really sort of. That's what it's all about. The other thing that the game adds is the threat of the Soul Trapped. You can use. So this is actually has got like a mid game or end game feature where you get these sort of soul trap dungeons. You can use the setting to control when tech dungeons, which tend to produce soul trap dungeons and mobs that arise from turn 100 to 300. This isn't much of a threat, not in the way that the Antares of Mu2, since by that time you get to turn 300, you pretty much won the game already. Thankfully, now you can set the target as low as turn 100. All in all, the DLC is relatively cheap, and the new retorts picks in the new DLC are well worth the money. Note also, if you bounced off Master of Magic in December or were waiting for the right time to get into this game, this is the right time. The big incremental update, the new paid DLC, and the ongoing Steam discounts are the best time to get into it. I'd agree with that as well. This is a very, very well constructed review, actually, I've got to say. And it really has focused on the things that do make this DLC so good. Like it looked good anyway, but it's so good with the Demonologist and these other things as well. Like they really do make it very, very interesting to actually then go and play. It's only one review there though, but it's a good review, I got to say. And it really does. So just going through the features. 3 new playable powerful wizards is good. New magic schools, the Tech Magic School. Now this is. It's not. They've changed the word now. They were calling this one a realm, and so I'm glad that they've changed the name there, because that was a mistake to call it a realm. But it's also not really a school, because it's not something you choose at the start of the game. It's not like Chaos or any of the others. You know, this is one that you choose as a where it's got much more limited degree of magic abilities that it's got, and so you're not actually getting books in this particular school. You're getting a trait pick. New race of Soul Trap, you have 10 new spells, 4 new heroes, and 6 new traits to customize your wizard. So these were very, very cool the way it sort of did work with this one. Also, the free update stuff with the game is actually really, really good as well. So that's was only seeing the one review at the stage, so it's not going to generate a score. But I think that this is a very, very good addition. Just read a few of the comments and see if there's other people that have had a look at it. So William's saying, I like the Dom series per se, but as a single player game, it's a bit meh. I disagree with that. There's different ways of setting Dom up. You can play it all sorts of different ways as a single player. I actually prefer it single player, I've got to say, Dominions. Okay, so Wolf Tooth is saying, reminds me of the Steam discussion around Zephon. Lots of people are saying it's just a reskin, and that it should never have been should have just been a DLC for Gladius. Yeah, I can see people saying that. I can understand why people would think that. I'm interested to see where Zephon ends up, but it does feel very much like a Gladius edition. Sizzle's saying squillions of units, that's a lot. Cannot even count to a squillion. I don't know what a squillion is. So this is saying the Master of Magic DLC is pretty good. Yep, Voodoo Dog saying, I find it very intriguing that you find Master of Magic too hard in the late game. Most 4X becomes just boring, and the longer the game goes in terms of difficulty. Master of Magic is one of these weird games where you're playing along thinking you're doing incredibly well, and then you'll come across an AI with a very, very powerful hero. For me, it's the heroes are unbalanced a little bit. They become too difficult, way too difficult for me at around turn 100. This is saying, yeah, the other stuff is cool. Always fun to make a minimum magic build, and now you can. Yeah, you absolutely can. You're sort of rewarded for it. It'd be interesting to. I haven't played that one, but it is very good. I might actually open it up actually and have a bit of a look. I'll just go through the bits and pieces that are now in the game. So Chris is saying, I bought the DLC, and after this stream I shall fire it up. Master of Magic, that is. Yeah, no, it's a great little game. Don't forget Dom 6 single player is supposed to be much better, says Baseline. I think that Dominions is, it really does shine as a multiplayer game, but it's still good as a single player game as well. So Serenity is saying Baseline in what way? They've actually, from what we've been told in Dom 6, they've had a look at the battle system and tried to sort of make that one even more interesting. So we don't know much detail yet about Dominions. So I'll just have a quick look over in here so we can just find it. Does it have its own Dominions 6? Yeah, it's got the, this is the new one. We don't see any change really in the graphics at this point in time. But there was information about it. God, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Actually, when is it supposed to be coming? Does it say? To be announced. Dom 6 is scaled up compared to Dom's 5. The armies are larger. So yeah, I think they've changed the way that this now works. We wanted to tweak the balance between conventional armies and magic. To accomplish this, a couple of changes were introduced. Incomes and resources are increased, while mages are more expensive. So there's going to be sort of like a rebalance to the magic system. So battle-wide spells are more difficult to cast, and they're instead more mid-tier spells. There could be some other changes of the same aim. So I think they're trying to make it so that it's less about rushing to getting like a magical line that we can then sort of dominate and destroy everything. And it's going to be much more about the actual armies. So the armies will be larger in the actual fights. So it's going to feel, I think it's going to be feeling interesting anyway. I'm looking forward to these changes, to be honest. Where else did it say it? A third massive change is the separation of mounts and riders. So riders and mounts have separate stats and can be targeted individually. This change probably has less impact on gameplay than the previous one, but still has an impact on cavalry and nations using mounted units. So a few new factions as well. And then the glamour path has been split off as well, which is good. So this will then allow... I'm really looking forward to this. I think it'll be more immersive. Actually, here we go. So I've missed this one here. The second and probably most influential change is the addition of a new magic path. No longer illusions. Yeah, so this one was the glamour. Yeah, so glamour is now gone. This will then, I think, make the some of the Norse factions a bit more interesting to play as well. Anyway, that's Dom 6. We'll just go. I'll show you the other thing with Master of Magic. I'll just open her up and get in there. So we'll just play this. It does take a little bit to load in. Foodie Dog said that there's no Master of Magic and DLC bundle that gives some % off. I agree, actually. That would be good if it would give you everything. Now there is a lot that comes before you even get like even if you haven't got Master of Magic, don't rush to get the DLC. If you're like, you'll get a lot of enjoyment just out of the base game, and I'll show you the base game when it does load up. Where are we up to? So okay, so battle mode's insane. Dom 5 single player is great, especially now that we know how to get out of wars with the AI. Yeah, so there's only one reason it had problems, and turns out we just didn't know that some critical information. Yeah, so Ben had mentioned that a few weeks ago, actually. So not sure, but they are working on that aspect. And Ulrich is saying, Daz, a little bit off topic from Mom, but did you play Warlords 2 back then? Remember playing it extensively? Lord Bane, the Horse Lords, etc. Warlords 2, yeah, so I was thinking of Warlock. I thought you were talking about Warlock. I did, yeah, that was a really old game. I did enjoy that, but it got stale on me, actually, Warlords. So Serenity's asking Ben how to get out of the AI war. So you basically just don't attack them, I think. So Ben is saying the AI will consider you at peace if no attacks have taken place for a specified time, depending on various factors. So if you kill their god, then you're at war forever. You have 5 turns, says baseline, I think. Yeah, so I thought that was around that time. Yeah, no, there's a formula involved. I think somebody on Lucid's Discord looked into the code, and it's not a static number. Okay, interesting. So that's the in Dominions. So the thing with Master of Magic, when it was first built, it was built as a... in fact, I did a video on this, a one-off video on the DLC. If you are interested, there is actually... I go into a lot of detail, probably for half the video, just going through what Master of Magic, the base game, has got, and where it's different from the original game, what the differences actually are. But then I go through what each of these then also bring as well. In fact, I might, instead of showing the game, I might just show that video, because I spent a lot of time actually just going through that one. I'll just find it. Go back to my videos. So it was down in here. There it is. across. And I'll just make sure it doesn't play. Yep, that's okay. So if I just go into here, this is the, so I've got, like on this video, it's a fairly long video, like 50 minutes basically, but it does go through a lot of the, so that it's, Master of Magic Rise of the Soul Trapped, which came out a week or so back, 21st of August. And so this one in here, you can sort of see the time frames of what I then talk about. So the after the introduction, at 2 minutes, start to go through what the original and the remake actually did, just in terms of the actual base game itself, because they did actually make the their original brief was to make it as close to the original game as possible, but they did do a lot of changes. You can see I spent like 15 minutes odd just going through the differences and sort of how it sort of did actually end up working, because there are differences, but you don't really notice them much. So there's a lot of time just going through the original and remake. Now, the reason I put in a time factor in through here was because I assumed that some people would be just wanting to go straight through to the 20-minute mark and just look at that. So I think I mentioned that even in the introduction, just to skip past whatever you're not interested in. But the original versus the remake, there is a lot of changes that they made, but you don't notice them. If you did play the original, like people who play the original are surprised at just how good the actual base Master of Magic actually is. Then there's free add-ons as well, and these actually really do change a lot of things with the game itself, and actually make it really quite interesting. So there you can opt into these. You don't have to play with them if you're a purist. Then we've got Through the Mirror update. So I spent like 3 minutes just going through what that is. This is actually a free update to the game, which adds the goblins and a whole lot of other different bits and pieces. I didn't spend too much time on these because there is other content out there. And then I went through basically Rise of the Soul Trap with the new wizards, new traits, new race, etc., etc. Showed some combat. There's some really good ways that the Soul Trap can actually get into traditionally hard combat. They've got ways, for example, to deal with things, for example, like the whirlwinds, which are traditionally very, very difficult to fight. But this one just goes through and just shows you like a 10-minute combat against some whirlwinds, just to sort of show how the Soul Trapped handle that situation. I should have probably actually done a combat without a Soul Trapped army against a whirlwind as well. Whirlwinds are interesting because they're a flying unit that is also invisible. And it makes it almost impossible to damage it. All you've just got to wait is for it to attack you. So it's quite a difficult thing. But the Soul Trapped actually can see it, and so they can then target it. And so there's some just interesting ways of sort of doing that one through there. Then I just went through the differences in the cities and buildings. The tech mage that we saw there with that scouting unit, that is a very, very good scouting unit. And there it is. So it's a fairly long video, but there's a lot of it, like nearly half of it is just going through the original game. So because I thought it was important to establish that before I went into just what the Rise of the Soul Trapped had. So it was a weird way of... Actually, I haven't even had a look to see what whether this has been positively received or not. This particular one, actually, where is it? If we just go back down through, there's a few comments. Through there, I haven't actually looked to see the thumbs up and thumbs down. There we go. So 112 thumbs up. I don't know how many thumbs. It doesn't. I wish it would tell you what the ratio is. I think I've got it back. If I just go back into YouTube again. Yeah, I think I get to see it. Anyway, look, let's not worry about it. We'll just close that one off. Okay, so anyway, that's... but that is definitely worth having a look at. If you've got Master of Magic, definitely have a look at Rise of the Soul Trapped. It's an extremely good DLC, and I was super surprised at how good it was. I wasn't expecting it to be anything like as good as what it was. I know that I think it was Ben that you had mentioned that you weren't really all that keen on the steampunk aspect of it, and there certainly are some steampunk aspects to it, but I think overall it's an incredibly good DLC. Even if you don't play as the Soul Trap, as that review had sort of said, there's just so much other content in the DLC. It's very, very good. Now, where did we get up to? So Kranzenstein's saying Untamed Tactics at 100% review rating. Yeah, okay, well, there we go. So it's sort of going to be up there. It will come down. I would think that Untamed Tactics will probably, by the time, it's hard to sort of see what happens with the reviews. I am suspicious of those 1 and 2 review people that are in there, to be honest, because you don't often get like a big bank of people coming in like that one. So I'm not sure. I would be like, when I'm looking at reviews, like the person that wrote this review, this is a very good review, I've got to say. He's only got 3 reviews. Well, this is really so only 3. Okay, well, maybe I've got to stop looking at that as a guide as to just how viable the value of it actually is. But this is a very, very good review, like a very, very accurate review, I've got to say. Even though it's only got 3 reviews, it's a very accurate one. So I will I'll bite my tongue on that one. But there's still like Master of Magic doesn't have the polish of Age of Wonders, for example. It's a much smaller team, of course, working on it. There's certainly things that I think need to be changed in the base game. There's some different problems in through there. She's also saying FIW. I don't know what that is. With the menace of Master of Magic. So I don't know, FIW. I'm not sure what you mean by that one. With a menace in Master of Magic. So awesome. Yeah, no idea what that is. No idea at all. I'm not very good with acronyms. Anyway, I guess we should sort of gone through a lot of stuff. There was some other things I wanted to go through. I had a look before. I thought, oh wow, they've got to talk about this. So let's go back into Steam, into the Steam library, and then we'll do the giveaway after this. So back into the libraries. Now, so Distant Worlds 2, letting you know again, Wednesday in like 2 hours before now, I think is when it's scheduled that Eric will then be going through what the DLC is going to then have. And then on the days after that, I'll be on the Slytherin channel as well, just doing but I won't be playing with the Quamino or the what's the other one? It goes through what the differences are here anyway. So there is actually devlogs available. X4, I've got to play that. I've tried to get through the tutorial, but I haven't got through the tutorial yet. It's funny, people keep on referring to X2, meaning Xenonauts 2, but I always in my head I'm thinking they're talking about X4, the actual game. Rise of Ruins, won't worry about that one. Caves of Cards, it's there every single week. Xenonauts 2 has now got a more stable release. It's a stable fix. We've fast-tracked off the experimental branches in order to fix a couple of issues. No idea what that is. I'm thinking that's going to have a Xenonauts 2 great game, but not finished yet. And so I think it's going to take quite some time. That's always got patch notes. First Men is not sure what that is either. Iron Oath, we'll skip over that one. I did see some other ones there as well. Untamed Tactics we had a look at. Here we go. So this is KeeperRL is heading towards its actual release version. So in the latest news update, I revealed that KeeperRL will leave early access in the next major patch, and it will bring some big gameplay changes. This will be really interesting. I hope that it keeps on developing KeeperRL. This is a really, really good game. Just have a quick look through the others, and maybe we'll go back and have a look at that one there. War and I has got a gameplay update. Pre-made generals, there is a new option for the number of pre-made generals allowed in the custom game lobby. Okay, that's War and I is a good game, actually. That is a good game. Solaris has always got something in there. Rust, Against the Storm. This was 2 weeks ago, so we would have covered that. And then again, 2 weeks ago from Untamed Tactics. Let's just go and click on KeeperRL. So, upcoming features. Let's have a look at this one here. This as I say, if you haven't got KeeperRL, I'll just go back to the. I've got it on like a larger. It's presented larger in here. KeeperRL. Keeper roguelike. See, it's very positive. It's funny. There's not that many people that play the game, which is sort of funny. It's a really, really good game. If you liked the old Dungeon Keeper game, back in the day, this is This is that, but so much better, so much better. It's almost like a combination of Dwarf Fortress with Dungeon Keeper. Great game. Highly recommend this. I'll just get to one of these and then just keep it there. Actually, no, I'll just leave it where that is. It's going to skip through. I'll just leave it off. Okay, so it's still early access, but it is coming now. It looks like the next one is going to be the big one. So upcoming features. Let's have a bit of a look at this one through here. So the way it works is that you've got your home site, and then you've got like a world map, and then you go off and explore the world map. And so you've got like different areas that you can then go off and actually explore with a group. So you have your own home dungeon, but then you go off into other dungeons and need to attack them with the group that you build up from home. So there's a dungeon aspect to it. It's like sort of building a dungeon aspect, but then going off and then raiding other dungeons. Also, when you build a dungeon yourself, when you retire it, you can actually then have that as a dungeon that can then be loaded in by other players to then go and play that particular game. So there's a few different things in through there as well. Things that you're at war with, like the thieves and the lizard men. So and this used to be just a big square map. So now it looks like it's actually, you've got more exploration. Overhauling the world map has been my biggest goal in the past years. It took a ridiculous amount of effort, especially considering at the end result is so obvious and simple. There are main features. Bigger, having 40 times the area of the old world map. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Real biomes. Okay, that's cool. Fog of War. Initially, a small area is revealed where you feel free to start your starting position. As you conquer tribes, more parts become visible. Yep, there we go. Minor villains. In order to make the world feel more alive, the map will contain a lot of minor locations, so you can visit that. Will not be relevant to your progress, or will they? Difficulty increase. Since the world will offer way more enemies, the difficulty will scale into the distance with the distance from your home map. The more far away enemies will have the stats increased in the order of plus 100. This will also require scaling up the player's strength, which brings me to the next part. So power scaling. In order to conquer the most difficult villains, the player will need to acquire very powerful units. This will be achieved mainly through 2 new mechanics. So we've got combat experience. I'll just skim past a lot of these. And scaling the quality of crafted equipment. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get more sort of mythical type things as well. Achievements released at the time frame. There are more big features in the plans, but I'll keep them secret until I have more working implementations. Besides adding cool stuff, I'm also spending a lot of time playtesting and balancing everything. The game now takes dozens of hours, so it's a pretty daunting task. Actually, I didn't mind it being a fairly fast game, actually, previously. I regularly update development builds so you can get an early glimpse of what, if you want. There we go. And so, committing it to the first quarter of 2024. All right, it's again, really good stuff. Like, he does release things fairly regularly. Yeah, so he's been at it for a long time. But it's a great game. This is an awesomely good game. Yeah, 86% is not too bad. I'm surprised it's only got 960 reviews, to be honest. Anyway, let's get the... just read a few more of the comments there. So, Tarinka's saying there are really people that give you a thumbs down. I don't mind. Look, the thumbs down is still feedback. I actually don't mind thumbs down. It makes me, when I see the thumbs down, it's sort of like one of those things where I... Like, for example, in that video that I looked at, and I haven't looked at the thumb down ratio. If I just go back there and have a look. Now, usually it's predominantly thumbs up back in through there. So I'll just go back across to the videos and have a bit of a look. Yeah, so it's 99. Yeah, actually, so predominantly. So that's telling me that yeah. Look, in terms of that, I've got one thumb down out of 112 sort of with thumbs up. So in that case, I know that by spending all that time at the start of the video actually wasn't a bad thing to do. So it's sort of, it gives you feedback like that. They tend to be up in the high 90s anyway, but sometimes you end up with some where you do get just a little bit of negative feedback coming back in. So that's something that that's just the way it works, and that's good to know. Like if that had have been, say, 95% or thereabouts, or lower than 95, I would be then thinking, okay, I can't do that in the future. So anyway, that's sort of the process that I use anyway. So there we are there. All right, so we've got, now what have we got there? Just see if there's anything else. Hi Drexy, how you going? Drexy's saying I got KeeperRL last played in 2017. It is a different game now. It is a completely different game. An incredibly good game. So Wolftooth is saying, I still haven't bought Supernova expansion for GalCiv 4 and Epic, even though it appears EA adopters have a permanent 60% discount. It's definitely worth getting, I think, the Supernova expansion. That's certainly where the attention has been in over the recent year, I guess, over the last year. So Wolftooth is saying, does Stardock still allow you to get a Steam key for people who bought the game on Epic? I would like to purchase Supernova, but don't want to have to buy the whole game again just to play on Steam. I don't know. I think you'd have to ask Stardock. The thing I've found with Stardock, and particularly with their Discord, is they're very responsive on their Discord, and also on their forums as well. So I would definitely ask that question. So this is saying, I know the ultimate weapon time stop, but yeah, Jim, what are you talking about there? I'm not sure what that one actually is. So Battlemode saying KeeperRL has come a long way. I remember when the dev did an interview on Roguelike Radio about it. Must have been like 2016 or something. Yeah, he's just a single dev working on the game, but it's always been a good game. But now with the addition of the world map, it really is just an exceptional game. And download a few of the of people's dungeons as well, because that's really, really interesting to try to break into actual human dungeons. It changes the. I'll show you actually. I'll divert back off, and we will we'll have a quick look. So KeeperRL right in here. Hopefully it doesn't need to upload. Now, unless he's changed this, because there has been some pretty big changes. There has been changes, by the way, that have been made to the game at different times when he's been testing things that just haven't worked. I haven't played this for a while. But if you go into play, and so you've got like the different ways that you sort of then come through. You've got keeper mode. Yep, so I'll just go and start a new game. You've got different approaches as well. Like you can play adventurer mode or keeper mode, or just play keeper mode, which is the default. Fetching a list of retired dungeons from the server. There we go. So we've now got this is the campaign mode. I'll just click on that one through there. So the world map at the moment, you saw it back in there, the world map was more circular, it was larger. This is literally the world map on this particular one. We're in connection with the zombies and also tree spirits, so these are lesser villains. On this map we have an unknown, unremarkable dungeon, is one of the main villains. We've got dwarves, which is a main villain. There's sometimes dragons. There's a red dragon, which is the main villain. And so these are locations outside of our location that we can go and get things done. We can add retired dungeons. This is so cool. And so these are where we can sort of see what we've got. Like we've got I've got one in here where there's a lot of very, very powerful units for this particular one that's been added in through here. But some of them have actually got, how many people have conquered the actual dungeons. So this one here has only just got like a selection of, I don't know what type of faction that actually is. But there's a lot, as you can see, of people's retired dungeons. And you can see how many times people have actually played them to try to then break through. Like this one here is hard for people to get through. Only 3 out of 34 attempts have succeeded. This one here, Loot's Dungeon, is actually looks like it's actually fairly easy to take on board. 26 out of 33. Loot's, that's another one there. So I'm assuming it's the same sort of person. But if you're looking for something that's maybe a bit more difficult to contend with, like this one here looks very, very hard, the Magic Lamp. And so these are dungeons that people have played and then retired. Different ways of sort of playing. So if we went back to, for example, this one here, Loot's Dungeon. This has mainly just got goblins. If we just go and add that. So that then gets added in to the actual mix itself. And we can then just sort of go back in again. And so it then does another one. So the main villain will be one of those that are then brought in. And so when we then go and change, if I just keep on re-rolling the maps, We've got a few more unknowns, etc. So you can keep on bringing in different types of... actually, there's Inoculus, the main villain, and that's Loot's dungeon there. So we've got these two retired dungeons in here as well. And then if we just confirm... So it's now loading in those dungeons that people have retired. Just let it do it. And so, you know, depending on what traps they've built, you won't know until you actually start to send forces down to sort of try to do it. It's taking a bit of time to load this dungeon in. Crescent Science saying, I feel my wallet draining again. This is a good game. This is very, very good. God, there we go. You know, generating the map. So that when we play, the world map is very different to what we actually end up starting on. So welcome. This is Keeper Alpha. This is KeeperRL Alpha 36, released in February of 2023. So we've got a short summary as to what the changes actually are. I'll just pause this one. And so we start off. This is our keeper, and back and through this other side. So just you can press space to pause or unpause. There's so much you can do in through here. You can sort of zoom out to have a bit of a look around. Sort of have a bit of a squiz around the actual place. We're aware of certain minerals underground or inside the mountains. There's going to be encounters there. There's going to be an encounter back over here, for example. Now, this is probably elves or something that have got like a little village, and we're on the bottom of the map there. There's some skeletons down that way. We've got... This is just going to be going into the sandstone, back into this other side. And so it's been a little while since I've played, but if you just go into the structure, dig or cut, and so I can just tell them to start to dig into the actual, into this area. So if we dig into there, for example, then just build like a little room just in there, and then we'll build some traps. So this is often a good way to do it. Another doorway there. Another entrance into that point. Oops, there we are. Whoops. If I go that way. Oh, there's something there. This is actually now, if I do that, there's a hole in the ground there. I'll show you what I mean. Like this one, if I just go and select that one, I can then just go over the top. It's very, very simple in terms of what it does do. So if we now go and grab our keeper, I can then control him directly. I don't have to. So if I leave him where he is initially, they'll just dig away. These guys will come in and start to work away. And so they're wanting to come in underground. If I grab the keeper and control him, I can now move him around. So let's move and see what's over in this little area. There we go. We've found ourselves a group of humans. So, and we'll probably be attacked if we come in, because they should be enemies. No, they're scared of us. They're moving away. So these are areas that we could actually try to break into. It's a kid, I think. Yeah, it's a child. So we can start to try to smash open the doors. There we go. Nothing in that one. There we go. We've killed a few of them. But we've taken some damage ourselves. There's nothing else in there. So it's just sort of like a little desert village, this one. Oh, here we go. We've got loot. So we go in and we basically then sort of find different things. So you get a bit of a feel for it. These are collectible for us. We can actually make use of these. We're evil. We'll just move off. Whoops, there's a viper. And we'll just press escape. Actually, I'll just forget how to actually get out of this one here. Exit. There we go. And so if we now just go back and have a bit of a look. So we've opened up, okay, this one was just opened up this way. So these guys have started to dig this one, but this is not really suitable for us. But then from there you just start to sort of then go and build up. And this is the, I think that then takes us to the map. So we're playing here. So this whole map that we're playing on is just that one little square there. And then we have other things above us. This is the mini map that we actually have. Just press escape. And so we're playing on in a very small location. We can then move across to other locations if we wanted to. So he's brought in these biomes. These biomes are new since the last time I actually did play it. But anyway, that's KeeperRL. Very, very good game. very good game. So yeah, can't wait for. I do like to try to play every major alpha that he does, because it does change the game quite a lot. But it's just a single developer that's put all that together. All right, let's get this underway. Where is it? Sorry, I'm missing. I'm just seeing if I've missed any of the comments there. Where did we get up to? Okay, so, Ben saying correction. You need the Epic version and upgrade to a Steam key for Supernova's price on Epic. Yeah, okay, all right. So yeah, so you're still stuck on Epic, aren't you? I think with what Ben's saying there. Gratian's saying I'm late to the live stream. Daz, can you repeat absolutely everything again? Thanks. Not a problem. We spoke about your porn star name, so everyone's had to put their porn star name into the or the stripper name, which is your first pet and your first street that you lived in as a kid, and that's your stripper name. So we've gone through a fair few of those at the start of it. And hi Genos, how you going? Chris is saying that, so this is Dungeon Keeper, what Heroes Hour is to Heroes of Might and Magic 3, it seems to me. Yeah, look, it's Dungeon Keeper was a great game when it was there, like when it was first built. The fact that you could take over certain units worked very, very well in Dungeon Keeper. This one is much more open than Dungeon Keeper is with what you can do. It's much better than Dungeon Keeper ever was, I've got to say, as a Dungeon Keeper style game. It's hands down the best Dungeon Keeper style game I've played, but also having those roguelike elements, the randomness, really makes it super interesting as well. It really is an incredible game. And it looks like he's now added so many other different biomes and things to it as well. So it's just getting better and better and better. And I guess the procedural generation of KeeperRL really does make it exceptionally special. Like it's really one of the best sort of sleeper games around that nobody really knows much about. But it's very, very well done. Yeah. So is it what Heroes Hour is to Heroes of Might and Magic? I would say not. I think Heroes Hour is too much of a. It's too far away from where a game like Dungeon Keeper is. Like Dungeon Keeper and KeeperRL are not that dissimilar, whereas I think Heroes Hour has got aspects of Heroes of Might and Magic, but it doesn't really capture exactly what Heroes of Might and Magic did because of that real-time aspect. But Dungeon Keeper, if you like Dungeon Keeper back in the day, you'll love KeeperRL, I think. I would assume so anyway. But yeah, definitely a great game. And it's interesting that he's now going to actually do the final release game early next year. So yeah, look out for that one as it gets closer to release. Let's go and start playing some marble runs. And where is it? Let's go to Sublime Text. I must have already got rid of all. Oh, there you are. Okay, I'll just get rid of all of those. And so the game we are giving away is Untamed Tactics, which is the one that we showed at the beginning of the session. So again, thanks to the devs and the publisher for actually making that key available to us, which is great. And we'll just go back across, get Nightbot. Log in and we'll do the giveaway. So I'll just put the word, the keyword will be Untamed. So just type in Untamed. So, and if you just type in Untamed, you'll be in the running for the key of that particular game. Chris is saying, do you ever play Wolf the Overworld? I sort of got. I liked those games, but I didn't ever really get into those games. I don't know, they just didn't do it for me. So hi, bye, Red, how you going? So already over, lol. Here we go. Just type in Untamed and you're in the running. I'll let you guys just go for it. we'll do the giveaway. So the names are still coming in thick and fast. So I'll just let you guys just keep on going with this. I won't put myself in this particular run. So we'll definitely have a winner today. Charank, you didn't put a D on the end of it, so you'll need to do that one again. Although I will, if you're the only one that isn't actually. There we go, got it there now. So let's go. It says baseline. We've still got people coming in. We'll still just let it build up. It's only 31. So I'll leave it a little bit longer, and then we'll do the run. Did you guys like last week when we did the Grand Prix run with where it was a best of 3? Should we do that again? So you get points for the actual run itself. I don't know how the points are worked out, so we might do that again. So we'll do three runs, and like at least we had a winner that did come out at the end of it. But it didn't give us a good summary of the actual wins for the actual Grand Prix itself. But we'll do a best of 3. So I've still got more coming in. I'll close it off fairly soon. Okay, so Rogue is saying back from meeting just in time for Marble Madness. Not for an actual key, says Genoese. I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, you get the actual. This is for the Untamed Tactics key. Yep, got more coming in. So 36 now eligible. Do you really need more games battle mode, says Victor. Yes, he does. It doesn't matter. Like it's all open. It's all even. It all comes down. But we'll do the best of 7. Says baseline. We'll do best of 3. Can't be here for too long. Got 36. Everyone's in now. Everyone's happy. If I go and grab this, so we'll just go and grab the list. It's a shame that YouTube doesn't have a way of doing this. Is there anyone that didn't want to be in? No, I think everyone's in there. Just do a copy. Come back across into here. Replace all. There we go. So 37 names. Is that? Did we have 37 before? I thought we only had 36. No, we've got 38 eligible, so somebody else has come in. So Ricardo Pavia. And Serenity, were you in there? Let me have a quick look and see. And Serenity, yes, you're in there. Okay, that's good. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we'll close it off there, guys. No more additions. 38 of you. I will just save that one, and I'll minimize that for a second. Okay, back into Marble Run. And here we go. So basically, so I'm giving mine away if I win. Yeah, you don't have to. Just enjoy the games. Okay, here we go. Just the loading screen. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the race. We are going to do a Grand Prix. We're going to do 3 maps. Now, I don't know if we do this. So I'm going to go to simulation. Got 38. Go to settings for the race. If there's a, because we now actually do have a real giveaway. If there is a problem with the way I set it up, I'm going to have to restart it. So if I will apologise in advance. So yeah, there we go. We got a. Sorry, I will actually just do this. Alright, guys, just got to. I always forget how to do this one. Ban, is it? Doesn't let me do this, unfortunately, all that easily with... can't get it. There we go. We will remove... Yeah, that was just a message. There we go. That should do it. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So Drexy's saying, am I too late? No, I can add you in. I'm saying it's Path of Exile 4, mate. Shame you missed out. Sorry about that spammer there, guys. I didn't see him there for a while. Now, Brad, are you in this as well? I might just go and add in you guys. I'll just go back into here. So Brad is not there, and Drexy is not in there either. So I'll just go and throw you guys in there. Brad Flegel and Drexy. Right, so we've got 40 players. Just save that one. So settings, change that one to 40. Add names. So it's a Grand Prix. So we've got the 40 name count. That's good. We're done. Finished. Close that one. Simulation Grand Prix. Now we've got Quick Grand Prix. I don't know what the I don't know what Quick Grand Prix actually is. I might start this. Just see what happens. Here we go. So we've no idea what this is, but I think it's only three. Yeah, 3 races. We should be okay, I think. So we'll start the race. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Here we go. Good luck. There's a few things. So Miguel is out in front. Dusty Monk coming second. Brendan Peach coming third. Whoa! Whoa, DS is gone. Be very, very careful, guys. This is dangerous. Looks like we've still got Bruno and Sorbicol. Sorbicol is now hitting the lead. And there's things blowing up, left, right, and centre. Nobody else has come off. It's only DS that's out of this particular... No, there's Gyrox. Gyrox, he's now gone as well. So Bruno coming back through. Back out in front. We're out in front at this moment. Drexy... Oh, Lucia's gone. Oh, we're losing them left and right here. This is dangerous indeed. And there's another one. There's Blink. Andrew's gone. Oh, my God, everyone's going. Drexy's now out in the lead. God, this is going to be a... It's hardly going to be anyone left. I can't even keep up with who's actually left. So Drexy is in front. Whoa, there we go. A bit of more of an explosion. This is a dangerous one. There could even be no finishes at the back end of here. Rogue has now hit the lead with Drexy coming through. I think anyone who finishes this one is going to be having a... just getting a finish is going to be worth it. There goes Brendan. Still got more explosions coming, I think. Let's have a look and see what happens in through here. So it's between Rogue and Drexy. I think if you hit that little point there, like By is just missing it, Goration, it's actually okay. Surely someone's going to hit it now, are they? Yes, they are. And off they go. There goes Victor, Sorbicol and William. Drexy's made it past there. Drexy's going to win this first one. Congratulations, Drexy. You're through. Oh, no, you're not. You're not. You've got to get a bit of a run. Nobody's actually made it through. Nobody's getting enough of a run. Oh, the Voodoo Dog's made it. So Voodoo Dog's made it through. Only one winner. Oh, my God. So Voodoo Dog's the only one that got through. Oh, God. Okay. That is a bad one. Well, Voodoo Dog, you are in a big... Everyone is do not finish. Well, it's the way it works, guys. It's the way it works. So we'll just go to the next map. And but that is that's going to be a lot of points to Voodoo Dog. Voodoo Dog saying, hey, it's easy. There we go. Yep. So we'll just go to the next map. Rusty Remnant is now the next one. Actually, this is good, this quick way. We don't know what's going to happen here. So that puts Voodoo Dog in a very commanding position, I would think, for the Grand Prix here. We'll see who comes out at the bottom here first. It is Bruno and Antonio. Gyrox now hit the lead, I think. Yep, so Antonio now coming second. They're coming back off the other way. I've got a group going down through the middle one as well. It's going to be very hard to see until we all sort of catch up at the back end here. Antonio looks to be out in front now. We've got Voodoo Dog again doing very well out there. That's Voodoo Dog gets a top place in here. That's going to be very hard to beat. In fact, I think it'll be unbeatable. I think we'd almost just give Voodoo Dog the points here. But Antonio is coming forward. See, Voodoo Dog's coming fourth. Wow, that's pretty amazing. I think everyone has to hope that Voodoo Dog actually somehow falls off the map in here. Antonio's still doing very, very well here. I don't know if anyone's going to actually fall off on this particular map. Yeah, Voodoo Dog's taking his own track. He's got Gyrox in behind him, and then Ben is following in behind it on that other side. But that ball in there, I think that's Antonio in there. Or is it somebody else? No, it's Voodoo Dog's hit the lead. I don't believe it. It can't happen. It can't happen. My God, this is rigged. This is a rigged race, guys. Gyrox coming second. Now, will Voodoo Dog make his way through? I think that you need to get yourself a lotto ticket, Voodoo Dog. Oh, here we go. He's been caught up in these, and here comes the others now, catching up with him. But yeah, no, he's been overtaken now at this point in time. Lucia's now hit the lead. AS Russell, Voodoo Dog now coming third with Drexy and Sithel coming back in. So it's Lucia, Voodoo Dog's right there though. It's right there. This is a close race. Drexy's hit the lead now. Voodoo Dog coming second. Gyrox coming third. Sithel coming fourth. AS Russell coming fifth. Hit this little area. They split up. Voodoo Dog goes his own way yet again with Drexy on his side, and Lucia taking the long road through. With Voodoo Dog on his own, way down the bottom of the map. So what's going to happen here? Drexy's out in front here. Voodoo Dog's actually now got caught up at the back there. Everybody else pretty much is in the top section here. Phobius is coming through very, very strongly. But Drexy's still out in front. So, Sithel's actually bounced ahead. So we've now got Sithel followed by Drexy, followed by Gyrox, Lucia. Battle mode's at the back there as well. Nowhere, we can't see Voodoo Dog anywhere. We've got the Room DVD and Sithel hitting the lead, and here they come, and Sithel gets the win with the Room DVD coming in second. The points are important, guys, so Voodoo Dog did come in there in the top 10, so we'll get some points for that as well. So that was a good finish, a very, very good finish there. So congratulations, Sithel, on the second of the wins. Voodoo Dog actually did end up a fair way back there as well. Bruno saying +1 for a dope test. Yes. Yeah, actually Miguel asked for one. I agree with you. Now we've still got Miguel. Actually, we've got Miguel back in through here, and Chondi coming back in this as sort of as the last place for this particular run. So we'll just let them come on through. But that was a good map as well. Such a good game, this one. It is fun doing this. Sithel's saying, "Go, Sithel!" Here we go. Robbed again, says Drexy. Well, all you need... I don't know if you get any points from that previous one. Just press escape, okay, and check the final results. So everyone did finish in that particular one, so there will be points available. I'm not sure... It says 0 points, but there are points. I'm just not sure how they actually are allocated. All right, last race. Here we go. This is Procedural Raceway. Oh, this looks dangerous again as well. All right, we'll start the race. We'll come in and see who's going to come through this one. So Miguel is there. Genos, Rogue, Ridiculous, Warden, Sobicol. I don't know if there'll be people falling off this one or not. Who's the first one out? It's Genos. Fair few actually coming through here. Rogue, Chondi, Reed is coming through as well. Genos is still in front here. Oh, that first one was wild, wasn't it? Still Genos. This will then slow things down. Oh, Reed nearly got through, I think. Actually, no, Genos did actually make it make it first out through. Rogue coming in second, Kratzenstein coming in third. There goes Bubo. Bubo is gone. So people can be, there's more coming as well. Sorbical is gone. So we are losing them thick and fast. So a bit of a look at this. Geno's is miles out in front. Oh, we've got explosion. We lost Andrew Ryan. We saw the others all came through. So we do have explosions on this map. So who knows? Who knows what will actually end up happening? Voodoo Dog's still on the map. I think we'd need Voodoo Dog to not finish on this one for anyone else to have a chance. So my bet is that we're still going to have Voodoo Dog as the overall winner. Here we go. We're sort of coming back in. Yeah, we lost Brad. Brad's gone. So there goes Phobius. So up he goes, and down he goes as well. He's on the map. He's still on the map. And there goes Voodoo Dog. Is he off the map? He is off the map. Okay, now it's anybody's game. Voodoo Dog is out of the running. And here comes Ben. Battle mode is actually now miles out in front. What's the chance he doesn't finish? Is he going to win? Or is the others going to get past him? Who's going to come out of this? Who's going to come in for the win? It's Antonio coming in for the win. Reed coming in second. Geno's coming in third. Baseline, Bick, Brendan. What the hell happened with battle mode? There he is. He's coming in through now. DS, Kratzenstein. So the others are now coming through. So you're coming out miles out in front. Didn't even get a top 10 place there, Ben. I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed. So there's Gyrox, who was leading the race for so long. Wow, what a poor finish there as well. That's it. That's the end of it. So coming in last there, from coming in first to last. Renee's saying, "Take that, Voodoo. That'll teach you to humiliate us." Okay, so we've got the final results. Let's have a look and see. This is just for the race itself. So Antonio came in first, and so we sort of see them back in through there. 14th, Ben. You were coming first, so far out in ahead, and yeah, you really got caught up in that last little hurdle there. Ben saying I'm disappointed too. All right, let's see the results. Now that's the results there. I don't know what else we can do. We can go to the Grand Prix, and I don't know if that's, yeah, so Voodoo Dog still has come first, I think. Is that one how we do it, or do we go back? Yeah, finish the Grand Prix. Here we go. So we'll see who came third. But sorry, that was a spoiler. Voodoo Dog, I think, still won. Do we have to click? Here we go. So Sithel came third. Antonio came second, and Voodoo Dog still finished on top there. So Brenna said that was brutal. Yes. Based on saying that was awesome. I want more races. It is good. Well, we've got a giveaway for next week as well. So I do actually have what's it called? I forget what it's called. It's another sort of roguelike. Looks like a really good game. I've got to record it this week, actually. My mind's gone blank. But there's another giveaway next week. So anyway, Voodoo Dog, if you can actually, if you can email me, and I'll just go across, just press escape there. So congratulations, that was very, very well done. And I'll just pop, if you can just type, if you can send me an email to daz@daztactic, daztactic.com. So that's my email address. If you can actually just send me an email, I can then send you the key. So that would be great. Well, thanks for that, guys. That was a fun way to finish. That was an incredible first race, I've got to say. That's just amazing. You really set yourself up for that one through there. Ben saying he's got to get back to work, so see you later. Thanks, Ben. Thanks for being part of this. I know that you're quite busy, so it's always fun to poke fun at you. Actually, I gave you a pretty good run today. I didn't really pick on you at all. But you were certainly giving a lot of good information there about the GalCiv, etc., and Dominions. And thanks, guys, for also taking part in the session. It really it's so important to actually get these different things. Colleen there saying congratulations, but Colleen, your comment sort of to get us on that track about the first pet, first street name was absolutely spot on. If I could give extra points for that, I would have given points for that one. I think that was a really, really nice way to sort of start the whole session off by going into our stripper names. Anyway, guys, going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next week. I will be, as I said before, there will be some Distant Worlds 2 information releasing this week. So I'm thinking next week we'll probably look at Distant Worlds 2 along with a few other games as well. But I'll catch you then. Thanks for watching.